Hi.
Hello.
I'm sorry. I just checked the Discord in 2 seconds, and we got a new person in our page in our Discord.
Tell them we say hi.
Paper Franksta. Hello. I'm gonna
Hey,
push the button to say wave to say hi.
anyone that's a Paper Gangsta lover is a friend of mine. Because what an underrated Gaga gem.
It's great.
Paper Gangsta.
It's a joy. It's fun. What is a Paper Gangsta? Don't know.
There's no reason for us to know. It has nothing to do with us. We're just here to experience the joy. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Yeah. How is everyone doing?
How are
What's
we all
going on?
Oh my gosh. Oops. Did this say 5:30? Well, whatever. We're here now.
Did it say 5:30?
It might have said 5:30, but it was 6:30. I just put this thing up a minute ago.
Okay. Well, guys, we're here.
We're here now, and that's the beautiful thing about it.
All right, be honest. Who arrived early?
I don't think anyone.
Because of the time change.
Oh, because they hadn't been paying attention. I don't know.
Especially if our international friends.
Right. That's true.
I feel like every time the clocks change, people not in America are just like, wait, why are you an hour early or why are you an hour late?
And we don't have a good answer. I wish we could tell you.
Yeah.
Butch Queen says for her first R&B bop. Yes, Paper Gangsta was Lady Gaga's first R&B bop. Absolutely.
It's Vinny's birthday week. Happy birthday, Vinny.
Happy birthday, Vinny. That's so exciting. Maxwell is here. Hello.
Chris, this is Chris's first live.
Oh,
Welcome to the live, Chris. This is it.
Thank you. I'm so glad you loved the third album bracket. The thing with the brackets is people have opinions.
They do. People love
People
them.
are just like, I cannot believe you did this. I turned the video off once you said this. And I'm like, guys, none of this is real.
I know.
These are just our opinions.
I love how it's literally just like there is no third album excitement, because okay, who had the best debut album?
Yes.
That's something specific. A sophomore album is also a very specific thing. Third album, it's a little random. It's a but we did it anyway.
We did it, and people
loved it
or hated it. I don't know.
Hated it, whatever. So do we do fourth albums now?
Oh, Maxwell's birthday's today. Happy birthday,
Maxwell.
What sign is this that we have multiple people in? I would imagine November.
This is Scorpio season.
Scorpio season. Yeah. Okay. Well,
I don't know what that means.
I don't know either.
But
I feel like it means. My first thought, and maybe this is wrong. Sorry for Vinny and Maxwell or any Scorpios, but when I first think of Scorpio, I think bad temper or big temper,
like a stinger. Because they got
a
stinger.
Exactly. That's my thought. So.
What did I hear? Because Travis is a Scorpio, and Travis, and I think he was at work, and a woman just walked up to him who once, I forget how the story went, but was just like, "You're a Scorpio, aren't you?" And Travis was just like, "I am. How did you know?" And the woman said something like, "Because you exude sexual energy."
Oh!
And Travis was like, Thank you.
Thank you so much. Have a good one.
So I guess that's what Scorpios do.
I love that. Sorry, Peter R. said, you guys bamboozled me into listening to some flops with that album bracket. What flops are these, Peter R.? Because I need to know. Also, I could have sworn we voted to end daylight savings in California a few years ago. I feel like it was on a ballot.
Yeah, I forget.
I forget too.
Did you all see Mariah on Jimmy Kimmel?
Yes, she looks beautiful. She did a great job.
Birthday's next Sunday. Okay, next Sunday.
We love that. Happy birthday.
Look how giving Vinny is, not stealing Maxwell's moment.
Yeah, so I guess we'll see you next Sunday to celebrate Vinny. This will be a Vinny celebration episode. Maxwell says, LOL, I'm manipulative. # Scorpio. Is Travis manipulative?
No,
well, there you
I
go.
don't think so.
All right.
Unless he's manipulating me right now and I don't even know it.
Grace says, LOL, you're learning what sports people have known for a while. Nerds love all kinds love brackets. Look, I love a bracket too, but like an opinion-based bracket, there's no right answer.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Grace says that Aaliyah album is so good, and it really fucking is.
We should do a bracket of like who had the best like first single off. Who had no. Sorry, I'm not first single. Who doing like an artist's like first singles off of each of their albums, like all of Madonna's first singles or all of Mariah's first singles,
I
like
would
something
love
like
that.
Because like who has like 16 first singles? Madonna, Mariah.
I feel like
that's what we got, guys.
We could do an 8-pronged bracket for like a Beyonce,
Okay,
something like that. Palmer, have you listened to Jaguar 2? I have not listened to Jaguar 2, but I hope to soon. Jimmy Donahue, hi. Cable and Brain, hello. So many Scorpios. My birthday was a few days ago. Chris Kelly. I wonder what it means that the Scorpios are drawn to us.
I know. I wonder if we polled all of the Cathys, what sign do you think we have the most of? amongst the Cathys.
I mean, it seems like Scorpio's a big one. I feel like we have.
It seems like Scorpio's a big one.
We do.
I mean, statistically, it would probably all be pretty even.
We'll have to ask in the Discord, but tell us in the chat if you have a, star sign you'd like to share.
Yeah, we'll see what energy the Discord is giving.
Alex says first single ranking would not be fair to Taylor, but we could do not just like her first single ever, but we could do all of Taylor's first singles against each other.
Yeah, sure. That's what it would be. Taylor has enough first.
Yeah, at least for 8. I'm like,
Lord
trying
knows
to think
she's
of
releasing it. She's releasing an album
every 5 seconds.
So
knee jerk. Is it we're never getting back together?
It could be. Yeah,
that's a great song.
I would say. Yeah,
Love Story's up there.
Sure.
Keeping Up with BravoCon. I am. Austin's Capricorn. Connor's first live stream as well. Recently joined the Patreon / Discord. Thank you so much for joining.
Connor, are you the paper gangsta that I just said hi to?
Right, because we're saying hi. I'm here to discuss that the hilariousness that is the Sweeney Todd casting announcement. I'm excited to learn more about it because I felt like there was a lot of hubbub about it.
Yeah.
And I hope Matt Steele can educate me because
sure.
you know how I feel about Aaron Tveit.
Of course. Yeah. What a voice.
Yes.
Is it the right voice?
I mean, we'll discuss. I have some ideas.
We'll discuss.
If you need some ideas.
Some ideas for what?
How to fix it.
What do you mean how to fix it?
How to fix it. Make it ready.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, Taurus. I kind of think I knew Tyler was close to me.
Where the fuck are the Geminis here? Let's go.
Know.
Am I the only Gemini in the room?
I guess everybody else is, trustworthy.
Sure, yeah. We're so untrustworthy.
I know, 2 sides.
November 14th, another Scorpio.
Oh, I love that. A lot of Scorpios. Some Cancers. Oh, I love a Cancer. Yay, Jay. Yes, another Taurus.
Yes, Aya. What a tenor voice. We love his voice.
Tyler says, as a Taurus, I never liked Scorpios. I don't know that
Woof.
I don't know that I have dated any Scorpios, so... Could Matt P play Sweeney?
Matt Palmer can play anything he wants.
Thank you so much.
I do say his perfect role is the Scarecrow in The Wiz.
You love saying that.
He's always like, no, it's Cole House. And I'm like, what are you talking about? It's the Scarecrow in The Wiz.
Cole House.
Yes, the baritone.
Yeah, I could do baritone as well, darling. It's called Range. Look it up.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'm just saying that.
Hi, Eric.
Baritone roles are getting taken by the tenors, as we have seen in recent news articles.
I guess.
Yes, Chi-Ching,
a Gemini,
yes. Let's go.
Hater alert. I hated Constant Wu's performance of Suddenly Seymour. It was so bad, was it?
Oh, I didn't see it.
All right, Aries. Hey, Jose, that's Mariah's sign, so you know I have a soft spot for an Aries.
Soft spot for Aries. You know who else is an Aries? Posh Spice.
Did
you? Of course, Mother. Did you? What do you mean? Did I forget you? And my mother's a Cancer. If everyone knows, so add her to the Cancer.
My mom's a Cancer.
I know.
Yeah,
our moms are both Cancers.
I love that.
How they raised such wonderful.
I know. Palmer's perfect role is the voice in Les Mis.
Oh, iconic. With some reverb added to that. You know, it'd be great if they did like a pre-recording of you as the voice and you like layered.
Oh my God, I need it. I need harmonies.
Oh, my mom! I didn't send my mom the link.
You usually send her the link.
I usually send her the link, but she found it on her own.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Look at that, Mother! You're learning how to use the YouTube.
Jimmy says I'm too young for Sweeney, but I'm ready to go on at a moment's notice. Anyways, Leo here. Ooh, Leo. They're very, love to be on the stage.
Leos love talking about how they're Leos. I would say out of all the signs, the Leos are the ones who love talking about being a Leo.
Ooh, Michael, I love that Jaguar 2 mentions Mariah in the first track. There's a way to get me excited about an album. It's tell me that Mariah Carey is mentioned. We are the best. It's true. Taurus, Janet Jackson, Kelly Clarkson, Sabrina Carpenter, Adele, Stevie Wonder, Ella Fitzgerald. Hello.
Okay.
Need the Matt P voice and Les Mis arc. I'd like to do more than just the voice.
I would love if on an album, in like some like background vocals, some like layers, you sampled the voice in Les Mis. Like just maybe even if it's just melodically, because like I don't know how lyrically you could make that work, but like if you just like did that as sort of like an Easter egg.
For the people who know.
For the people who know.
If you know, you know.
Cathys, for all 51 people here.
Yes, thank you for coming.
Yeah.
Where are the Pisces? Great question.
That's true. I haven't seen a Pisces drop or an Aquarius yet.
I dated a Pisces, not to quote Beyonce's signs.
Okay.
I did date a Pisces once.
Okay. How was that?
It was all right. All right. It was all right.
All right.
Aries has a ton of great vocalists too. Mariah included, absolutely.
And Posh Spice.
Oh, is Pasha? Well, vocals.
Yes, and Posh Spice. Thank you. As it says, Steele, I just saw the trailer and I'm excited to see Maestro. It looks like a mix of Tar and Cold War. Oh, that's a fantastic way of describing it. I love it. Oh my God. Also, if we're going to just blatantly cast against type, let me play Joanna. Like, who cares anymore? Go for it, Aya. Matt Palmer would make a great Javert.
Yes, thank you.
He knows you were robbed. Vinny knows you were robbed.
Matt P, I keep telling you her writing is campy, but good like MC. Make Victoria a priority, please. Okay, she's on my list. You guys will be proud of me because today is giving me moments. I'm talking about a new artist whose album I very much enjoy.
Okay. So. I don't know if I have anything to say.
That happens.
For giving me moments.
That happens.
It happens.
You don't want to talk about whatever's happening on Big Brother? You're so mad.
Giving me angry
It just is like we have a competitive reality TV chat, and I saw Matt Steele like giving like, oh my God, this amazing thing's about to happen. I can't believe it. I'm like, oh good. Maybe the season's gonna turn around for him.
Fans were thrilled.
As soon as Matt Steele walked in, I was like, wait, how's it going with Big Brother? I heard things are going well, and he was. The color drained from his face. It was just sad.
Like in a span of 5 seconds, everything can be gone on Big Brother.
That's what we learned.
Like that's why we are all living on edge.
That's what we learned.
Whatever.
No, but really, have you guys seen Meg Thee Stallion's Cobra? The video is sickening. I have not seen it yet, but I love that she's putting out cool things. Congrats on Hustling.
Thank you so much.
We can finally announce the name.
I know it's called Hustling.
It's called Hustling.
The poster's out on my Instagram if you want to check it out.
Yes.
That's the project I directed this summer. We are about to start color correcting it.
Oh.
And those files are real big that I have to send to the director of photography who's color correcting it.
Right.
Ooh, those files are
they
big.
all uploaded yet?
I have one more to go.
So close.
It'll take about 14 hours.
Woo.
So yeah, my laptop is just open and the setting is very much like don't go to sleep.
Just stay awake.
And it has to like stay plugged in overnight, which like makes me nervous for my battery, you know.
That's okay. It's okay.
Makes me nervous.
Yay, love Cobra. How do you feel about Priscilla? Aya wants to know. Are you excited? Because you saw it, didn't you?
I did.
So Matt Steele has opinions on Priscilla.
I mean, it was really nice. It was very interesting. It was like interesting to see it from that perspective, especially since Elvis came out the previous year. And very different moods.
All right.
Very different moods.
Ricky says, I saw Priscilla. It was a beautiful perfume ad. LOL.
I mean, that's not a lie, too. It was very beautiful. Like, it was gorgeous. Jay, do you mean, like, titties bouncing and everything? One of my fave lyrics.
Oh.
What does that mean?
I think that's from Victoria Monet.
Oh. Isn't Victoria, like, one of our requests for Patreon?
Is she? I feel like people talk about her all the time, but I don't know if she's made it to...
Oh, no, I'm thinking Caroline Polachek. Jeff requested Caroline Polachek.
Oh, yes.
I confused those two names.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Don't ask me why.
They're very different artists, I'm pretty sure.
They're very different names.
Yeah.
So don't ask me why I confused those two artists.
You feel what you feel. You can't go away. Late to the party, but also a Capricorn.
Yes, Lindsay stepped on a bee today. How was your foot, Lindsay?
How was your foot? I love that we know so much about the patrons. Lindsay stepped on a bee.
Steele, how was my queen portrayed in Priscilla? Will I be upset? Oh, Anne Margaret was not in it. Anne Margaret was shown as they showed her picture in a magazine, and she was like, you love Anne Margaret. And Elvis is like, no, I don't. She's annoying. Were
they a thing, Anne Margaret and Elvis?
It was like rumored that they were in the headlines and stuff like that because they were starring in a movie together. And Priscilla was essentially just like, you love her. And Elvis was like, no, I don't. Yeah, so Anne didn't do anything.
Okay. Alex, April Tauruses. Yes, here we are. April, yes.
Oh my God, y'all are doing Caroline Polachek. We are, but it was our most recent request. So
it's going to be
a minute until we get to that.
Truly, from June onward, we have it's such a more manageable list.
Yes.
And I think right now we're in January of 2023, so we have to get through a lot. Yeah. Until we get to June, and then things will start moving a bit quicker.
Yeah.
But we did just film a patron requested video.
We did.
Last Thursday.
We did. That was an experience.
And you know what? We did it. We said we would do it, and we did it.
We did it.
We did it.
Yeah. So if you want to see that reaction, go to www.patreon.com/2gaymats.
It's not up yet, but it'll be up next week.
It'll be up, yeah. Tomorrow we're uploading, tomorrow I'm uploading we reacted to Olivia Rodrigo's new song for the Hunger Games. So
Grace asked Matt P, are you going to be discussing your feud with an old woman? You know, if it comes up, it comes up. I don't know what to tell you. We love everyone, but I love that people have. Well, we'll discuss that.
If Anne Margaret ever appears on anything, she needs to be played by Kristen Wiig. That's interesting casting. I like that.
Do they look similar?
No. Oh. Girl, the Virgos are nowhere to be found. Yeah, I haven't seen a Virgo yet. Do y'all see Dua Lipa change the album covers and got rid of her Insta post? Thoughts?
She did that weeks ago. The covers will be back. People clear their Instagrams for new eras a lot of the time.
Sure.
Not worried about it.
Wait, I need to know, what is the negative reaction to? Negative reaction?
Oh, to the thing it's the next thing on the patron request list. The thing at the top of that list is the thing that's coming out. And the thing is, if you requested it, we're not trying to shade you.
No, we love you.
We love you. But sometimes content's not for us, and that's okay too.
Yeah.
It's good to be honest.
Anna's a Virgo.
Oh, yeah.
You have a Virgo.
Hey, and I have dated several Virgos. Jackson's a Virgo.
Oh, my God.
I love a thinker. I love someone who's got that mind.
Can't wait for the Hunger Games prequel. I need to read the book, though. Can't wait for Ryan Murphy's feud, Matt Palmer versus Brenda Lee.
I haven't even been talking about her in the Discord much, but whenever she comes up, I feel like my name gets batted about. Because I have opinions. But I mean, of course, I want her to live her golden years how she'd like to live them.
Yeah. I see no problem if you just let her go number one for 1 week. Steele, are you happy that Bowie's going to win? You know what? I fucking was excited that there was a path to victory for Bowie Jane at some point today. And that path of victory is now gone. What are you going to do?
Steele's recap of Priscilla is so accurate. Every scene consisted of maybe 1 or 2 lines. Did you sleep with Anne Margaret?
I didn't.
So it sounds like I'm not missing anything by not seeing this movie. By the way you guys are describing it.
It is lovely. It is and it's very pensive. It's just such an interesting contrast to the Elvis that came out last year and this story of Elvis. This one's very still.
Okay.
And, very just delicate.
But it also seems like, I mean, maybe correct me if I'm wrong, people who've seen the movie, people are responding better to Jacob Elordi's performance of Elvis than they were for Austin Butler's Elvis. Do you feel that way?
No, please. Austin Butler was fucking lauded as hell.
They were, but I feel like I'm hearing a lot of people
rightfully
be
so. He was fantastic.
Do you think Jacob was better?
They were both great. They're both different things. It's different styles of filming. They are genuinely both great in their performances of Elvis. Okay. How many horror movies did Matt Palmer watch for October?
I guess 0. I still would be open to watching the Blackening, but that's about it. Because I saw Megan. That's the scary movie I liked the best.
Yeah, it's kind of scary.
And I watched Get Out again, and that was in October because I was in Atlanta.
Okay, happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Yeah, we did it. I don't think I saw any horror movies in October this year.
Right.
So Matt Palmer beat me.
That's me. I just love film.
Can't wait for the Anne Margaret movie to come out and complete this unofficial trilogy. A lot of Anne Margaret talk in the chat. I mean, most of it's Jimmy. But,
Right.
Stand your girl, Jimmy. You got to do what you got to do.
You got to stand.
I want to see Bowie Jane on Survivor. I think she's done. I think she's you know what? This isn't.
Who did I see? I think I saw Andy Heron tweeting about how much he hated Bowie Jane's gameplay.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Well, the thing is, all season long, Andy was standing Bowie Jane. And then after Bowie Jane made that horrible decision in the double eviction last week to not go after Matt and Jag, Andy was just forget it, shut it down. This is now a Bowie Jane hate account.
Oh, my God.
And so he just tweets about how much he hates Bowie Jane. And he also, every couple tweets, he has to be guys, I don't really hate her as a person. I'm just joking. I just hate her gameplay. Please don't come after her when she's out of the house.
Totally. Austin, I think, is saying, who the F is Anne Margaret?
Austin, please.
Did you see the latest Scream movie? No, I'm scared of the Screams post because I hear they get bloodier. And I'm I don't need to see more gore, more blood.
Addams Family Values is the only kind of horror I watch.
Okay.
All right. That's not much horror.
Still, have you still not seen Talk to Me?
I still haven't seen Talk to Me. I'm sorry. Not sure if Bodies counts, but it's fun around Halloween. Yeah, Bodies.
I'd watch that.
You'd love Bodies.
That seems like it'd be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ricky says Jacob was fine. He's not going to be winning an Oscar, though.
I mean, Elvis in this movie is the supporting character. Yeah. So he doesn't do as much in this as Austin Butler does in the movie literally called Elvis,
right,
as opposed to the movie called Priscilla.
Right. Yes, Peter R is a Taurus and proud. Yes. But they get better after 4, though, Palmer. I don't know. They sound a little scary. And then at some point, my girl Nev is not even in them. I think it's crazy Nev Campbell wasn't in that last Scream movie.
Sure.
Just pay her money. I really don't know who that woman is. She's if she was around during Elvis's time, she's some old lady. It's fine.
I mean,
actress probably.
Yeah, she's like a huge actress.
Great.
She was a big like sex symbol back in the day.
Love it. The Britney of her time.
Kind of. I mean, like, yeah, a little more acting. Like Oscar nominated. She was kind of more like the Lindsay Lohan, like kind of like she was young and hot, redheaded, and like a little scandalous and everything.
Did Lindsay ever get an Oscar nomination?
No.
Oh no.
What would she get an Oscar nomination?
I don't know. What was that movie she did where she was like
Confessions of a Teenage Drama
Not
Queen?
that one, but there was one where she was trying to be serious, and it was like a podcast that got turned into a film and.
Podcast that got turned into.
She was like, it was like a theatrical. It was like maybe I remember seeing her sitting on a stage. Let me look up this movie. It's gonna drive me. I'm gonna look it up.
Yeah, Anne Margaret was in Bye Bye Birdie. I want a mockumentary about Lana working at Waffle House. Yeah, what is that? Like, what is that whole shebang? And didn't Charlie XCX work at Walmart for a day or something? Oh, I was thinking we used the French lady that got beheaded. No, that's Anne Boleyn.
That's funny.
Lindsay deserves
Prairie Home Companion.
Oh, Prairie Home Companion.
Yes.
No. That was like that came out in 2006.
And Georgia Rule.
Yeah.
Those two. Herbie Fully Loaded. Bobby.
Oh, yeah. She was in Bobby. I forgot about Bobby. Look at that.
Don't forget about us. Bobby.
I'm so disappointed Nev was not in the new Scream movies.
I know. It's shocking. I love that Steele is a Britney stan, a man of culture. Steele is a Britney stan. Babe, he likes Britney well enough. I'm the stan.
I stan Britney.
But I grew up with Britney.
I grew up with Britney.
You like saw her on the Disney Channel and was like, great.
I wasn't like great. I was like, that is a star.
Sure, but you didn't follow her. You weren't like Wins in the Zone coming out. That's what I'm saying.
No, but it was a different time for me.
It was.
Guys.
I'm just saying, we can't give Matt Steele of the two of us the stan crown.
I was like,
Britney.
When is the new cast recording of Into the Woods coming out?
Thank
around
you.
That,
this is what he's he was standing other things.
I was standing other things around that time.
I'm glad that you love Britney these days.
Yeah.
But if we're going to say one of us is the Britney stan, I would say it's me. And which I think is fair.
All right. Fair.
All right. You
Fair.
can be the I'm trying to think. I feel like I'm trying to think of musical artists that you stand harder than I do.
Like pop musical artists?
Musical. Who would you say falls in that category?
No one.
I bet there are people that you like more than I do.
I mean, the Spice Girls.
Oh, Spice Girls.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, sure. Can y'all believe we almost got Britney in Chicago movie?
I know. That would have been amazing. Lindsay says, I am waiting for my Oscar nomination. Yes, it's happening. The Matt's fighting over Britney is everything I ever wanted.
I just want to say he was downplaying my stanage.
I'm not downplaying, but if there were the two of us.
Give me my credit.
We all grew up with Britney. Austin, if you can't say the In the Zone track list backwards, you didn't.
Fight for Britney honor. The only few singers I really loved when I grew up were Avril Lavigne and Kelly Clarkson.
Yes.
Solid. Maisie Peters. I stand Maisie Peters.
That is also true. You do stand Maisie harder than I do.
I have the Maisie stand.
All of that was for nothing. Jose says, I meant Palmer. I'm high. Great.
Okay, Jose. Great.
That makes me laugh.
I mean, of course I stand TLC. I literally listened to Fan Mail for the first time a couple days ago, though. So
I would say
he stands TLC.
Your reaction gives you Stan. Because the thing is, people never talk about Fan Mail and always discuss it.
I feel like I hear about Fan Mail like more than I hear about anything, but it's probably just because it's through you. Like when I was a kid, I never heard about Fan Mail.
I always was talking about Fan Mail. I'm old. I grew up with Madonna. Hey, we all grew up with our divas.
Listen, everyone grew up with Madonna. Like Madonna had career peaks upon career peaks, popping up every era.
One of my earliest memories was it was some like rich elementary school kid's birthday, and we were in like some sort of, I think, a limo going somewhere.
Okay.
And the song "Take a Bow" by Madonna was playing, and he or one of the little kids our age was like, "Ew, is this Madonna? She's such a slut."
Ooh, how old were you?
I was like, I was young. And so I was like, I didn't have a concept of who Madonna was really. And I was like, oh, I like this song. And they're like, oh, no, she's a slut. Because I guess the sex book had been out or around or whatever. But that's one of my memories. That I'm like, I can't believe I didn't stand up for Madonna in that moment.
This is what Madonna would have told you to say. Yes, she is. And what about it?
And what about it?
That's what Madonna would have wanted
Matt
Palmer to say in that moment.
It's true.
Matt, I just listened to Aaliyah's self-titled album and I was surprised how great it was.
It's excellent.
It's undeniable. It is an undeniable album.
Grace says, no one talks about Fan Mail, No Scrubs is one of their biggest songs ever. It is, but I feel like we're always talking about No Scrubs and never talking about Fan Mail. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, sure.
Madonna knows how to maintain relevancy. It's true.
Anyone else feel like Dua's new main pop girl out of the new class? She gives actual eras. She's only had 2 albums. Like...
I find Dua's music very exciting.
Yeah.
And I think she has a very solid voice. I think the music is consistently good. She has great taste. And she's like model gorgeous.
Yeah.
So.
And I can't think of like another pop star that does like what she does like musically that's as big as her.
Totally.
Like it's kind of like right now we have like Billie, Dua, and Olivia.
Yes.
They're like the 3 young pop girls that are huge right now. And they each do something a little different.
And I love that.
And I love that for all that.
We love variety.
We appreciate all of it.
Eric says, I'm a Madonna and Janet stan. They evolved in every era, both the blueprint. Yes, they are. I love them both. It's true.
Oh no, my story on my Instagram is still uploading. It's taking forever. Shake the phone.
Are you worried about that? Is that
I'm worried about your internet.
My internet's actually fine.
I don't know. Look at that uploading. Oh no.
Do you see how we're streaming live to 62 folks right now?
Hold on, but when it posts to my story, we're gonna have 3,000 watch.
Grace says, holds my small Ava Max flag. That's very funny.
Good for you, girl. Stan Ava.
Butch says a lie. That is, I Am songs are better than Sasha Fierce songs.
Oh, Butch.
Butch.
All right.
Do y'all fear for Reputation Taylor's version? I mean, I'm scared of the night of.
Listen, we already know it's coming.
We know, no, I know it's coming. I'm scared of us reacting to it live here.
Sure.
Because people are just going to get mad at us. But like,
Whatever.
What do you want me to say when Gorgeous starts playing?
Whatever. It'll be funny. What I'm worried about is the self-titled reaction because we'll be like, I don't know what to say.
I don't know what this is.
I don't know what to say.
I'll be like, I'm only me with I'm with you. Can't wait for that. Can't wait for that. Fan mail was so huge. I was obsessed with TLC and Missy's total produced work. Ugh, it was a huge album. It was also an album that, like, I can say is part of the nostalgia. I remember very much my life at the time when Fan Mail came out, like that was like 7th grade-ish for me, and I have very vivid memories attached to that album.
My only memory, like, attached to Fan Mail era was the only time I ever heard No Scrubs.
You only heard it once?
Yeah. That's why when y'all are like, it was like it was a way bigger hit than Waterfalls. I was like, what are you talking about? I never heard it anywhere.
Crazy.
And the only time I ever heard it was I was in 5th grade, I think, and a kindergartner in the after school program was sitting on like the steps of like the school outside, and she was just like, I don't want no scrubs, the guy can't get no love from me. And I was like, what are you singing? And she was like, I'm singing TLC. And I was like, that's not TLC. I've never heard that song. And she was just like, it's TLC. It's the song No Scrubs. And I was like, oh, I guess they have a song. called No Scrubs. And I was like, why are they singing about like soap and like scrubbing? Like I didn't know what like a scrub was.
Were you listening to the radio at that point in your life?
No, God, okay. No. But I did not grow up listening to the radio. I still don't listen to
So you
radio.
Just heard pop music from CDs your brother or someone would
buy
in the house?
From like CDs that I owned, or like if they were on, the songs were like on TV somehow.
Oh, okay. But you weren't watching MTV?
Not when I was in 5th grade.
Okay.
No.
Well, this is making more and more sense.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Reputation TV is going to be something else. I think Reputation TV could be a great chance for Taylor to improve upon the original.
Okay.
I would love to see it.
I love the way Dua promoted herself during Future Nostalgia, even the whole COVID mess. I mean, for the fact that it was like a COVID release and she like really, really like stuck to her guns with that era and was like, we are going to give the people stuff.
Right.
Is really fantastic.
Right. It really is something.
Steele, you sound like a lunatic when you say Waterfalls is bigger than No Scrubs.
Not Waterfalls.
Oh, and the way listen, that's how it's pronounced.
That's how he pronounces that.
Tyler, I'm saying she started the trend when it came to streaming concerts, performances. Studio 2054 was amazing.
Butch
Queen. Come on.
You're hurting my heart.
Come on, Butch Queen.
Those Candy songs were everything to me. Candy and Shakespeare, unbeatable team. There's just so much music out of them. That's so great. And I will not stand for this slander.
The time where you could be in a bubble of your own music interests, nothing could creep in the way it does now.
I feel like now if you're like on TikTok, you're going to be hearing some of the most popular songs, and whether it started from radio or from TikTok, you'll never know.
I'm not on there.
I know.
I'm not, no.
Because now I feel like you could conceivably, if you were not on TikTok, be more in your own world. Because it felt like radio was such a bigger deal back then.
Mm-hmm. But I truly, like, my family, we didn't listen to the radio.
Really?
Yeah.
I always worry, like, if I were to have hypothetical children one day, I'm like, okay, I loved so much that we listened to the radio, and my parents didn't push their, era of music onto me. Because when I went to school with kids, and they're like, I love the Beatles. I was like, you're a fucking nerd.
Like you are literally listening to your dad.
Right, which is fine.
Which is
but
fine.
Like,
it's cool.
It felt good to feel like I was a part of my generation when I was young.
Sure.
But now that I am old, I'm like, but wait, I want you to listen to Daydream. I want you to listen to my 90s shit. And
my kids are going to be listening to show tunes. Thank you very much.
I gotta be okay with them listening to music that I don't connect with.
Sure, of course I'll be okay. But like when I'm in charge of the dial.
Right. Well, I'll be able to take turns. I think
Sure.
that's fair. OMG, have y'all watched the Eras Tour film yet? No, it's not streaming yet. So not until then.
Palmer, did you go to BravoCon?
No, that is very expensive. But I've been watching clips of people posting from there, and I've seen a lot of trailers, and Ramona got disinvited for reasons I'll tell you.
Okay.
Did you see that?
No. Oh, God. By the way, the latest album bracket really made me realize how massively influential Timbaland is.
Oh, unbelievable. Scrubs is a guy that thinks he's fly still. Now he knows.
So am I a scrub? What about the guys who know that they're fly?
Yeah, but you're not like hanging out the passenger side of your best friend's ride trying to holler at Chili, Left Eye, and T-Boss. So you're not a scrub.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that like, that's a very specific thing that a scrub is?
Well, that's the chorus. So it's kind of a mantra. Nothing On But the Radio is a great song. Great song. That was such an era. TLC dragging the guys with Scrubs and Destiny's Child popping up, dragging the guys too. That's the thing. That was a big topic of conversation at the time. It was like, why are all these songs so man-hating? And it's like, guys, well, if you don't give them something to write about, then you won't have to worry about it.
Very true.
Hello? I'm hating BravoCon on Peacock. I was expecting to see the live panels, and it's all these mini panels with people I don't care about. I haven't even tried to watch it yet. I was planning to, but now I'm worried about it. Ramona caught being a racist again. Absolutely.
Again, no, Ramona.
Yes.
Well, what are you going to do?
Honestly, as someone who works with a lot of younger people, I enjoy sharing older music, older than me even, but sometimes you just got to let the kids be kids. That's what I will struggle to do, but I feel like it's important.
I've helped a lot of children learn about music because like they'll like play stuff on, because the way they like at work they would like listen to music is they would pull up YouTube and just like let it play like a playlist on YouTube or something like that, and I would just be like, this isn't music, like no one's singing, it's nothing but production that's happening here, and they would just be like, and they'd be like singing along, and they would just be like, yeah, oh girl ho, and it's like, what are we doing? This isn't like an actual like song. I know, like you're all killing me.
You gotta let the kids be kids, as they say.
I guess I remember. Oh God, We Belong Together was playing on like what's the playlist of the restaurant and everything.
Yeah.
And there's a coworker I have who's 19, and he loves music, but is very like Beatle coded, and so I was just like, oh, what a classic or whatever, and he was just like, is this Ariana Grande?
No.
Yeah.
How old is he?
19. And I was like, motherfucker.
I get that you are young too, but like if you're referencing the Beatles, then you know about older music, and this is much newer than the Beatles. How do you guys pair the albums? I mostly just try to put the ones that I think could be in the final as far away from each other as possible, because it's like if we had the first matchup be Loose versus Aaliyah, it would be like knocking out Loose in an unfair way.
I don't like this method.
There's literally that's how brackets work. We can't talk about this again.
I'm just saying, if it was like what is the best,
just not listen again.
It should be randomly assorted. And because the thing is, like, what's the point of doing a bracket if you know what's going to be in the final two?
But in sports, when they have the brackets and people get seeded a certain way, it's based on their record. And it's like, if you've not done as well, you have to go initially with someone who's very good, because you want there to be a final two that's actually competitive and not like, I Am Sasha Fierce versus Aaliyah. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Yes.
But if you already know who's going to be in the final 2, why are we doing the bracket?
We don't, but you don't.
I
It's
just
all up for our arguments. It's up for the games that happen.
I guess to me it seems like a waste of time.
Okay,
but thank you for watching the bracket videos.
Yes, what a promoter over here. Seems like a waste of time. It's my biggest fear, my theoretical kid growing up and choosing to not like good music, my specific music tastes. Like, what are we gonna do now? I mean, that's fine. Have y'all listened to the latest Beatles song? No. My mom loves R&B.
The latest Beatles song.
They
what?
put out a new song via like AI.
Who the fuck is they?
The Beatles. Like the Beatles are on the cover of like today's top hits on Spotify right now.
Girl,
I know.
Ringo Starr is in Liverpool or whatever, chilling, watching TV, not knowing anything that's going on.
Someone's involved. Maybe I bet he had to like sign off on it.
All right. Well, I'm glad they're doing well.
I'm glad everyone's doing well.
I'm glad they're doing well. I wish them the best.
Right. I've been playing Daydream when I set up in the park, and people of all ages have come up to compliment the music, and some even bought things because of it. Oh, that's amazing.
Fun. Why do we hate Miss Sasha?
The songs. Like, we've always asked why we hate things, and it's because of the songs.
Yeah, guys, it's not
good. Because I don't know if there's a nicer way to put that.
Yeah, like,
yeah,
you know, it's a rough album. Especially when you
know what Beyonce can do.
Yes, especially now that like she has put out so many amazing things after.
Right.
You're just like, oh, what is this?
Still, we know you hate games. not people remembering that. Everyone forget that we play games on the channel. I love, but also hate being a younger lamb. I feel like I missed out. You kind of did, but it's all there. Like, you're getting like, you know, when you get the rarities and the second disc is all of the Tokyo Dome, like you're getting what was happening. But yeah, it was a moment living through it.
Nick is watching from his new house.
Oh, congratulations on the new house.
Ooh, is there no furniture in there yet? So we're very echoey in the empty rooms.
It could be. Let's see. Ringo did be involved heavily in this one.
Okay, that's good.
I think one of the members started the song before they died and just now finished it. Okay. I don't think the Living Beatles knew Disappear is one of her best songs. That's not true. It's time for Mariah to start playing.
Beyonce's Disappear?
It's time for Mariah to start playing Dirty. I want to get her 20th. But what about Broken Hearted Girl? I do love Broken Hearted Girl.
That is a great
song.
Say. Yeah.
Jeff is still saying justice for I Am Sasha Fierce. Paul and Ringo, but I think mainly Paul has said stuff about using AI to create a new Beatles album.
Paul. Oh, Paul.
Okay. But compared to other pop girls' worst albums, it's still ahead in my opinion. I think there's a good EP in I Am Sasha Fierce.
Sure. There's an EP in Sasha Fierce.
There is. Speaking of games, yesterday I was with friends when someone said the dreaded phrase, does anybody want to play a game? I don't think it's so dreaded. I mean, I guess it's like, if it's not like a game night where we've all planned to play a game, doing that is a little like, okay. Guys.
When the conversation is going really well and I'm having a good time, and then suddenly everyone's like, hold up, let's stop the fun time we're having and incorporate rules into this get-together.
That's a little much.
Oh, especially back in the days when it was Cards Against Humanity was always the go-to.
I do agree with you. That's not a game. Like, it's like people playing apples to apples. Like, these aren't games. There aren't rules. It's like all subjective. I like rules. I like structure, to quote me.
My problem with the Cards Against Humanity game, I don't mind the fact that like it can be a subjective rule thing.
I hate that.
It's the fact that like you have all seen these cards before.
Right.
Why are we still laughing at them? Like they're not that funny when you read them a second time.
They weren't funny the first time.
Like, I mean, there are some words like, oh, haha, like not like memorably funny,
right?
But like we're still laughing at this. Like this is so basic, guys. I'm sorry to all the apples and what's it called? Cards Against Humanity stands out here.
But you know, if anybody stopped the conversation I was having in the middle of a group and said, "Do you want to play Taboo?" I would say, "Fuck yes, I fucking love Taboo. What a great game." Maxwell can't believe that we have so many I Am Sasha Fierce defenders in the chat. Don't disrespect B-Day. Absolutely.
All right, all the I Am Sasha Fierce defenders, what is your astrological sign? Maybe they're all the same thing.
Mats are just hating because they ain't no divas. We're divas, doll.
This could be an email my heart question, but what years were your favorite stretch of new music? Like Me, it was 2008, 2012 was the pinnacle of bubblegum pop, and I loved every moment of it. I mean, that was a great era.
That was a great era.
That was a great era. That's a solid.
That's a good question.
Because I think we only got one email might hurt.
Oh, so do you want not to answer right now? Do you
want me
sure. Okay, I won't answer.
Well, answer for Isaac.
B-Day is that girl. Don't do that album. Absolutely. Taboo is awesome. Yes. Oh, Jeff is saying a bunch of lies. Okay, should we get started?
Yeah, let's do it.
Oh, my goodness. So many things being said.
All right.
Okay. Yeah, I'm ready. You ready? Okay. Hello?
Hello, everybody.
Now we're back. We're recording again. It's been another week, and it's time for the podcast. Matt Steele.
Yes.
Are you ready today?
Sure, I guess.
Good.
Because you know what? It's my job.
It is your job. We don't get paid a lot, but we've been doing better this year than we've ever done before.
We really have, which is interesting because I've been on strike for most of the year.
That's true.
But I haven't been on strike for this.
No, this you're still allowed to do.
I am showing up.
I'm showing up and showing out. Wait, by the way, maybe we'll talk about this in the real show. I saw something about the last offer from AMPTP is the last and final offer to the SAG folks. Is that true?
Girl, I don't know. I'm not on that negotiating committee. I'm not Miss Fran herself sitting there. I'm waiting for the email tonight saying yay or nay.
Okay. Yeah. And the thing is, all of those things have no teeth because, like, if y'all say nay, like, what are you going to do, AMPTP? Like, there's no other option. You need a new deal.
Well, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to come back next week for 2 gay mats.
Yes. We love to be a non-struck company. Do you want to start?
I'll start.
Okay.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another 2 Gay Mats of the podcast. It is Matt Steele.
And it's Matt Palmer.
And it is November.
Yes.
It's getting dark early, huh?
Woo, it really is. I mean, that fall back hits you and you're like, wow, it really is pitch black at 5:40 now. And it's like, it's just different because I don't get off my day job work until 6, and I love to do a little walk around the neighborhood after work.
Yeah.
And so now it's going to be like fully dark. Like I liked having a little bit of sunset to see,
Yeah, but you'll be fine. It's a safe neighborhood.
It's safe.
Wear your like reflective gear as you're doing your power walking.
Right. I just like, I like to have something to look at. And so as much as cute as like the, the street lights are, I'd rather a nice sunset.
Yeah, I mean, you can still look at things. You'll just look at it in a different way.
Right.
This is how all y'all who like wearing sunglasses see the world. A few shades darker.
Sure, but it's not pitch black with some lights in that sky.
That's whenever I put on sunglasses, I'm always like, oh, it's nighttime. I hate it.
I don't feel that way. Matt Steele.
Yes.
How was your week?
My week was good. It was a lot of work because I am going to Palm Springs next week and I'm doing like a bunch of stuff. So like I'm trying to like work a lot.
Oh, right. When are you back?
From Palm Springs, Wednesday night. Yeah, I'm just going Tuesday into Wednesday.
Oh, okay, great.
And then Thursday, I'm going to like a Big Brother party.
Yes.
And so I've been working a lot this week. I did a lot of walking, like extra walking, handing out, going door to door, flyering for my restaurant and everything. In one day, in about 3 hours and 45 minutes, I walked 11 miles.
Wow.
I know. And I was like, oh, I'm going to have abs now. I don't.
I would love if there was a Kathy behind the door. Like if you knocked on someone who's
I don't knock on doors.
Oh, you said you knocked on the door.
No, I walk up, I slip the thing in the mail.
Oh, I wanted someone to recognize you at the house. And
no,
oh my God, I'm always there on Sunday nights.
I don't want to be seen. If someone is like in their front lawn and I'm passing out, I skip that house because it's like, I'm not having an interaction with this person who doesn't want me on their lawn.
Sure.
Yeah, and I have to say, God, I get it. Like modern architecture is very exciting and everything, but like, guys, if you get a house, put the mailbox in like a findable area and have it look like an actual mailbox.
Oh, that's crazy.
Because it is so hard finding some of these like Santa Monica mailboxes around these houses. It's like, what am I doing? I'm like bushwhacking through like their like forest in their front lawn. And then I get up to the door. There's no mailbox. So I'm like, maybe it's at the front gate. And nope, not at the front gate. I have no idea where this mailbox is. So I have to like stick it under their doormat. And I feel like, a loser.
That's okay. I think you did your best, and the best is the best you can do.
It is the best I can do. What else did I do this week? My friend Arthur came over, and we watched more of season 23 of America's Next Top Model, which is famously the Rita Ora season. And we watched. I thought the entire time when I told you that we were starting to binge it together, me and my friend Arthur, I was like, oh, this girl Courtney's gonna win. Courtney came in 4th. She was just eliminated. So I'm like, who the hell's gonna win? I'm assuming this girl India, but you don't know. I don't know. I'm just blown blown away.
Did you agree when Courtney got kicked off that it was her time, or do you think it was a mistake on Rita and team's
It's
part?
so hard because like she is just such an utterly phenomenal model. But there have been a lot of like video challenges in this cycle.
Okay.
And she doesn't really excel at those. There have been way too many video challenges. Like every season of Top Model, there's always like one, like the commercial challenge, and like that's it. There have been like 5 like video challenges. And it's like, this is too many. So I mean, maybe she wasn't like able to like diversify herself enough within like all these challenges, and that was kind of what people saw as her problem.
Okay.
But her face is just like boom, and her eyebrows are just like pow.
And people love a boom boom pow.
A boom boom pow. But you know what? The
hit.
top 3 is great. You know, we have India, who like the purple hair they gave her is a little weird, but like she's a great model, and like Corianne and Tatiana, I believe her name is. Like they're all great. So we will see.
I'm excited to see how that turns out for you.
Sure.
And like 4 years ago, when did this air?
Oh, this was like 2017.
Oh, was it?
I'm talking about this
Iconic.
old ass season of Top Model. But you know what? The show still holds up. It's great. Matt Palmer, what did you do this week?
Well, this week was Halloween, and in my new apartment, it's kind of like it used to be a house essentially, and they added apartments on top of it. So the neighborhood is like pretty flat, and the houses are pretty close together, and so we get a lot of trick or treaters. And so last year, Jackson was out of town. He was visiting his brother in Ohio, and so I had my friends Joe and Tim over, and we made dinner, and like we had a lot of trick or treaters, absolutely, but like. They would knock on the door, say trick or treat, or sometimes they wouldn't. They'd just be like, oh, and I'd be like, okay, you didn't say the thing, but sure, you can have some candy.
Wait, you actually, like, when you were a kid, said trick or treat?
Absolutely, I expected trick or treat. So if you're teaching your children, say trick, you can't just knock on my door, say nothing, and have your bag out.
I mean, you say hello. I didn't know trick or treat was like a rule.
Say it.
That's stupid.
I look at those kids and I'm like, I don't tell them to say it, but I think it. I'm like, you better say it. Most of them didn't, but some did. Good for them.
Okay.
But long story short, I got like probably last year, I probably got $40 worth of candy, and it lasted the whole night. Everything was fine. This year, I got probably $40-$50 worth of candy, and then Jackson got probably an additional $25-$30 worth of candy. And he did it differently. He wanted to see all of the kids go by, and so he was sitting on our patio, which is out in the front, and waving people in as they walked by.
Come in, children.
Not like that. Not in a weird way, but just like, hey, yeah, we have candy, whatever. And by 7:45 p.m.
Out of candy?
Out. And so since he, has hurt his ankle and like can barely walk, I had to go out there, and like there were kids walking up the driveway, and I'd be like, I'm so sorry, we're out of candy. I had to push them out of the front lawn, close the gate, turn off all the lights, close our blinds, because it's like we have nothing left, and it's not even 8 p.m. And I'm like, we should have just stayed inside, because I feel like the fear of knocking on a door is going to the weaker people will just keep walking. Only the strong will survive and get the candy.
Sure.
And so we would have had enough candy for the rest of the evening. And I feel like it's the opposite problem for most people in LA, where they're like, I've gotten 3 people this whole day, whatever.
I've like literally the past 10 years of my life, everyone is just like, no one came to my door.
I'm telling you, over like 120 kids came to our
Maybe like the word on the street was just like, hey, you don't got to knock on the door for this. He's just sitting there outside.
I know. And so
go to the gays house. Go to the gays house.
And the thing is, we also have some gays next door who like did a whole Halloween thing, and they didn't run out of candy. And it's like, well, whatever. They're older and probably own that house. It's different.
It's like $65 worth of candy like went out. The thing is, candy is expensive.
It is.
I will never forget one of my birthdays recently. My friend, I was like, oh, I want a candy party. Like I want. This was not this year, but this was like a few years ago. I was just like, oh, I want to eat a bunch of candy. And so my friend like got a bag of like just like a bunch of candy that like fed everyone. And he was like, oh, take the rest with you. And he left the receipt in the bag, and it was like $60 worth of candy. And I was like, candy's expensive.
It's expensive. And these kids, and I am not a person that's like, oh, only take one. But near the end of the night, I was like, only take one.
Really. Oh yeah, let them know.
Because I was trying to get us at least to 8:30, but it didn't happen. Well, it's okay.
You know what kids are? Fucking greedy.
We love kids too.
They want you to pay for their shit.
They want
you to feed them.
And they won't even say trick or treat. 0 for 3.
I truly never knew this was a rule for some people.
I respect the kids who say trick or treat 10 times more. Because it's like, this is how this social interaction goes.
Even if they didn't have a costume?
If you have a costume, do not come. Like, stay inside. If you have a costume, or if you're, I'm honestly, if the options are a young person who's like the right age group doesn't have a costume, or if you're maybe a little too old to be doing this, but you have a costume, I'd rather that. Like because I'm not a trick or I'm not a Halloween person. I didn't dress up. You didn't dress up. But if I was a young person and did that, I wouldn't even go trick or treating because I didn't hold up my end of the bargain. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
So okay, that was just Wednesday or whatever, whenever that was. Over the weekend, I went to our friend Eric and Natalia's house, and we watched The Golden Bachelor. We're down to final 3. They went on their hometown dates, meaning that Gary went and met, all of the women's children and grandchildren, and he did a very big bachelor foible. I'm like, maybe you didn't have children who told you do not do this. He said, I love you to 2 of the women.
Oh, God.
You can't do that. A rule of the Bachelors. You only say it after the final rose has been passed out.
Poor third woman. Watch her win. That would be iconic.
I mean, no one got kicked off this second. The end of the episode, it's going to be a cliffhanger. I assume it's the woman he didn't say I love you to that's going home, but we'll see. And then he'll be down to his final 2 and then make a selection. And I can't wait to see whoever he picks is going to be so lucky and so happy. But the fact that there are so many stakes are just God, these women who are not getting picked are just going to be so fucking upset. It's going to be terrible to watch, but I can't wait. And then on Saturday, what I do, we had our friends, Jackson's sister and her husband over, and we played some Super Mario Wonder because Michael, his brother-in-law, is a big Mario fan as well. And I was like, this great new game on Switch. You're going to love it. And so we all played Super Mario Wonder for a bit. And then today I went to my friend Sarah's having a baby, and that baby is coming in January. It's so very exciting, little baby boy. And
oh my God, January? That's so soon. I feel like she just told me.
I know. So she is. The thing is, she's time-wise very pregnant, but you look at her and I'm like, you look great. You look kind of the same, but
she has abs and I don't.
I know. She has abs with a baby in there. It's crazy.
With a baby in there, God.
So it was great to have that baby shower and got to celebrate with her and a lot of friends of hers some of whom I hadn't seen since her wedding. So it was great to do that and hang out with those people, celebrate a new baby, a new life coming into the world, and then now I'm here with you. Talking to a camera.
Talking to a camera, guys. That's the life of an influencer. Yes. Lonely, talking to a camera.
Matt Steele.
Yeah.
Jump into the news for idiots.
Let's go into the news for idiots, especially since last week we didn't talk about any news. We just talked about Britney's book.
Well, there's not a lot of news this week, so
all right, well,
I can squawk on about what I think children should do on Halloween for even longer, if you'd like.
No, let's talk about Dua Lipa. Let's talk about Dua Lipa.
Dua Lipa has officially announced her comeback single. It's called Houdini, and it is coming out this Thursday at 4 p.m. Pacific time because she's British, and when Adele puts things out, it's always at a weird time for us personally.
Yeah.
But I'm excited to hear it. She's apparently put out some clips. I have not listened to them because I believe you're coming over that day so that we can listen together and throw that up on YouTube and TikTok, all of that. But I'm excited because I feel like Dua is a very exciting young artist, and I can't wait to see what she does next.
Yeah, and she's coming off of a huge previous album, so there's a lot of pressure for this single and this next album actually. So
right.
I'm usually whenever a British artist releases and it's middle of the day in the US, I'm just ugh. But this is very good for me because the Big Brother finale is that night, and I'm going to a Big Brother party that night. So when I heard it was being released Thursday, I was like, oh no, I'm gonna miss it because I bought these tickets for this Big Brother party.
Yeah.
But then when I found out it was being released midday, I was like, oh, let's go.
I know.
So this is very convenient for me. Thank you so much, Dua.
Absolutely.
I hope this era goes swimmingly for you.
And I'm wondering if the album's called Kaleidoscope. I know we're in kind of a magic-y realm. All of her album covers are kaleidoscopes.
So many different things. The album's called this. The single's called her new hair looks like this. What's real? There's a lot of conspiracy theories.
Houdini is real. That is the name of the
is
single.
Real.
Everything else is speculatory. I mean, I assume her hair looks the way the hair looks in the single cover, which looks, good.
Which
some
looks
red in
like
it.
Dua Lipa's hair. Except a little red. It's a little,
yeah, a little red in there. So that's happening this Thursday. Everybody mark your calendars. And then our number 2 story of the week has to do with, the Broadway.
Guys, this is for the Broadway Cathys out there.
So apparently there was a lot of hubbub because Tveit and Sutton Foster are now starring in Sweeney Todd. They they are replacing Josh Groban and Annalee Ashford. They're leaving the production of Sweeney Todd on January 14th. This is on Broadway. And these are 2 Tony winners who are taking over these lead roles for a 12-week engagement from February 9th through May 5th. I read this and I was like, oh, wait. Like, you know, people love Sutton Foster, and you know how I feel about Aaron Tveit. What a vocalist, what a vocalist, what a vocalist. But I felt like I was getting a lot of hubbub on the Discord and on like theater Twitter that would, you know, funnel into mine a little bit. And I was like, oh, people are not happy with this casting. So tell us from a theater perspective.
Yes.
What's the problem?
What the controversy
Yes.
is. See, the thing is, like, I don't understand why there's any controversy with the Sutton Foster casting, because it's like, guys, the role calls for a mezzo who belts and does comedy. Sutton Foster fits that kind of like to a T. Like,
Perfect.
I think she's going to be fantastic. And the thing with Aaron Tveit that a lot of people are kind of like, I guess, like concerned about is it's kind of like a combination of a bunch of stuff, like, and especially the context of what's happening in the theater world today.
Okay.
'Cause Sweeney Todd is like one of the best, like, great baritone roles of musical theater, especially older baritone. Like, it's usually played by a guy like late 40s. Early 50s. And this production, because this production was mounted for Josh Groban, essentially, they are going a bit younger. But, you know, Aaron Tveit is 40, which, like, I guess realistically can happen, because the whole thing is, like, his daughter is probably, like, 16, 17 years old.
Sure.
And he's coming back, like, to get revenge, like, for his wife and her and everything. So, like, I guess when you are 40, especially in that time, you could have a, you know, 16, 17-year-old daughter and everything.
Right.
It's the tenor part that, like, people are a little concerned about, because Aaron Tveit, you cannot deny, objectively brilliant, like, vocalist, excellent performer. Like, we all remember where we were when Next to Normal up there singing I'm alive, I'm alive, I'm alive. But it's like, that feels like, yes, first of all, that feels like yesterday, and he was playing a teenager. So, like, to me, I'm just like, what? This is kind of triggering that he's suddenly playing Sweeney Todd. And the thing is, like, I'm all for, like, exciting new casting, like, getting people, like, out of their element. And everything. So, like, the prospect of, like, a known, like, tenor playing Sweeney Todd, like, would be, like, super, super exciting if we weren't in a time when, like, no one is writing for baritones now. Like baritone roles are so scarce, and it's kind of just like making people think about how Broadway is becoming so homogenized.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Homogenized. And especially because of like musical theater programs, like BFA programs in colleges, there's a lot of criticism towards them these days, thinking like, oh, these programs are just trying to get all the kids to sound and act exactly the same, which is very much like a tenor voice. Can you be a pop tenor, especially because a lot of musical theater now, a lot of it is a jukebox musicals.
Right.
So, people are just kind of like worried that, like, what does this mean for baritones out there? What does this mean for baritone roles? Especially because there's also a little bit of the controversy of like the off-Broadway production of Little Shop of Horrors, where they keep casting like really hot guys as like the quintessential nerdy role, sticking some glasses on him and being like, look at that nerd.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, what does this mean for, I mean, I've been squawking to the heavens for years now. What is happening to the character roles on Broadway? People are just like a little like concerned about that.
Would you say that you are also concerned about this?
Oh God. Yeah. Like where are the character roles on Broadway now? Because like people are like, oh, this is a character role. And it's like, this is like a hot pop tenor. Like just because he's like a little quirky does not a character like role or actor make, you know, like it's quirky in the sense that like Zooey Deschanel was quirky in 2012. Like you wouldn't call her a character actress.
No, I would
not.
All right. And now I'm understanding the issue and why this is a larger meaning. Because to me, I read this, I'm like, hey, it's too low for him. Raise the key.
No, that is a big no-no, especially when it's fucking Sondheim music.
Just raise the key. I don't understand.
These roles were written in a certain key for a specific reason.
It's like when pop divas age and they get on stage, like, can I hit that same note? Who cares? Lower the key.
But the thing is, it's because that is her song. Like when it's a pop diva, she's like, lower the key because this is my song.
Right.
So I can do whatever I want to it. When it's like someone else composed it, it is the writer's song. Okay. So it's like, you know,
just not to bring this back to my production of Les Mis in in high school, in high school with my junior year where I was wronged.
Bitch, always bring it back.
I have
always
to bring it back because it's always
era.
top of mind.
Yeah.
They lowered Javert's songs for the Javert.
I wonder like what kind of like rules there are with that, like in terms of like licensing, like if someone from, I don't know who owns the rights to Les Mis, like
Right.
MTI or whatever, if like they had found out that you did that, if like your school would have gotten in a little bit of trouble.
And they wouldn't have gotten in that trouble if they had cast
they
me,
had cast Matt Palmer.
because I could sing all those baritone notes.
That's right.
All right. So still talking about this. My life is, I've lived just even longer than I had lived at that time. I've lived, but
I
I'm
would
still
call
mad.
Javert a straight baritone role, not a
Well,
baritone.
he was a bass.
but you could do it.
And I could do it.
But you could do it.
I could hit every note. Every note.
You could hit every Matt. What is there a note
Every
you
note.
can't hit, Matt Palmer?
What a great question.
That is a great question.
What a great
I want to
question.
hear that highest whistle on emotions. Go.
I know. Well, not right now.
Oh, you have
but
to warn.
I'll give it to you later.
Yeah,
All right.
Okay.
We have great new updates
Great.
about Britney Spears' memoir. First, it topped the New York Times bestsellers list. It supposedly sold 1.1 million copies in the U.S. alone, trailing just behind Prince Harry's memoir Spare, which sold 1.6 million copies in its first week. So it's the second biggest book of the year. And Britney is the only person on the planet who can say that they have sold 1 million albums first week and 1 million books first week. So congratulations.
Oh, shit.
It's very true. Because you still look at those stats, because again, Taylor Swift's 1989 Taylor's version ended up selling like 1.6 million copies
Yeah.
this first week,
Insane.
which is crazy. But you see the list of all of the like over 1 million plus debuts, and you're like, yes, Britney was really, she did 1.3 back in 2000.
Yeah.
Like, it was a great moment in time, and I'm so glad that she can add another feather in her cap with this book.
Well, you know what this means? It means Taylor is writing a book as we speak.
I don't believe that. I think there will be a book, but I think we're years out.
Okay.
And then supposedly studios are in a bidding war for the rights to the memoir, The Woman in Me, to turn it into a movie, a TV series, or a documentary. Britney has said on Instagram that like, oh, people are trying to make a movie of my life, but like, I'm not even dead yet. But maybe that was before she saw how much money this is making for her in book form, and how much more money it would make for her if it was optioned as, TV or film.
Yeah, but you know what? Whatever you want, Britney. If you don't want your story made into a movie,
of course
you don't need to do it. It would be a nice paycheck.
And I'd love to see it.
But the thing is, like, her story has been so. It's kind of hard to see like what I would want to do if I was Britney Spears, because like my story has been so manipulated by like the press and everything for so long that I would be hesitant to like have someone do it. But if she like sells the rights and has some control over it, she could be like, this will be the definitive narrative that people will see. And so everyone will know what the truth is.
Right. I feel like that's the only way she'd sell it, is if she had some executive producer credit and or like some final say clause. Because like she's not letting other people tell her story anymore. And which, again, we talked about it last week, but like it's why I now fully get her Instagram and why she does what she does with it, because she's just like, I don't want anyone touching me. I don't want people doing my makeup. I don't want other people telling me what the good shot is. It's all going to be for me. So I feel like since that is kind of her thought process at this very moment, if they're going to option this in a different visual medium, I imagine she'll be very much involved.
Okay,
Right?
yeah.
Speaking of, I was inspired to re-listen to the Mariah memoir after listening to this, and that is also, I believe, being turned into a film, or I think it's actually a TV series, and that Lee Daniels is involved. And I'm like, I'd love to hear more about this. Has Zendaya been cast officially? Because that's what I want. And I can't wait to see whatever actress it is lip sync to Mariah Carey's like voice notes that she would record herself, because no one is singing those songs in any sort of biopic besides Mariah.
Do you think Mariah will give us like new vocals
Yes.
for the movie?
Yes.
I'm excited about
so
that.
ready.
That's great.
I know. I'm very excited about that. Okay, what's next? Oh, did you see this? Apparently, record labels are now pushing a new clause in artist contracts to prevent the success of the Taylor's versions for happening from other artists. Universal Music Group, Sony Music Entertainment, and Warner Music Group have changed contracts for new artists so that they have to wait up to 30 years after an initial release before re-recording their work. Previously, artists had to wait between 2 and 7 years to record. And this is essentially just seeing how much money that Taylor has made off of these re-releases, these re-recordings. And it just is one of those things where it's like, man, the music industry will do everything in their power to make sure that artists make as little money as possible.
Sure.
It's just so gross. Like, I know the film industry is disgusting, no shade. But I feel like of all of the entertainment industries,
no shade. You act like I run the film industry.
Well, you're our film representative at the
Thank
table.
you.
I feel like there's no more predatory business in entertainment than music. Like, it's just like historically you watch so many documentaries about people in music who lose fucking everything just trying to like put their art out into the world. And this is just another example of the music business being garbage. All right.
Well, what are you gonna do?
I mean, good for Taylor for not having to sign that, but I hope she could somehow step in and be like, no artist sign this, and like I will get this fixed.
Sure.
Don't do it. You should be able to have your
Taylor, president of the Singers Union.
She could do it. Hey, she was the one that like got Spotify to like change their percentage of the payouts, I think. I mean, they're still garbage, but at least they're better.
Sure.
Did you see the Walmart ad with all the Mean Girls ladies in it?
I didn't watch it. No.
It's very cute. And by all, I mean all except Rachel McAdams.
Sure.
It features Amanda Seyfried, Lindsay Lohan, and Lacey Chabert.
Does it have the girl who got punched in the face and it was awesome?
No, but they have a lot of like new young people who kind of do a similar bit.
If that girl's not in it, it's not all the Mean Girls girls. That's what I have to say about that.
And also the guy the man who what's his name? The gay guy, the gay character?
Damien.
Yeah. He reprises his role. Kevin Napor is in it. I was just glad there were so many. It's actually very well done. I wonder how much money they fucking spent on it because It's like, how do you get all of these people back in the room together to do this? And also, how quickly did Rachel McAdams say, you know what? No thanks.
I love how like Rachel, I only saw the headlines. So it was just like Rachel McAdams was just like, I'm busy.
Exactly. Just like, I didn't want to do it. And so I didn't do it. And so, hey, that's her prerogative. I would have loved to see her. But I just am going to say, if you are a nostalgic millennial like myself, watching that little Walmart ad, which is very well done and seems very expensive, will give you a little pep in your step.
Sure.
A little warmth deep down.
I love it. It's just to talk about Amanda Seyfried.
Yeah.
Seyfried. She's just in general, like in the stuff that I've seen her do and the way she talks, she's kind of always down for fun.
I
like,
know.
She's kind of always down for anything.
She does seem like a fun lady.
A fun quality about
it.
I feel like if I met her in real life, we'd be buds.
And so talented, and like she's done so much with her career. But yeah, she does seem like a fun girl.
I mean, Lacey Chabert also seems like fun, wonderful.
Of course.
She's a Broadway kid we stan. But like Amanda Seyfried, like in particular, just seems like I want to do this and this and this and this.
Good for her, as she should. I have to come out of the closet as someone who look. I have loved Mariah Carey for as long as I can remember. She is the most important artist of my life, artist of a generation, best songwriter that ever lived. I love that the world loves her It's Time videos. Mm-hmm. I don't care. Like, I feel like there's always such hubbub around these in a way of like, oh, she's going to come out and there's going to be a new It's Time video and like, let's reference it. And like, she's moving from Halloween to Christmas. It's always very cute, but like, as a fan of someone, as a musician, how excited am I supposed to get about an annual social media post? Like we're really talking about like, wow, her TikTok stats are crazy. And like this Twitter video is getting such great numbers. It's like, none of this is real. None of this matters. Like I think it's great that she does it, and especially how she's monopolized an entire holiday is truly genius. But there's just never going to come a day where I'm like, wow, that It's Time video is my number one Mariah event of the year.
One day we will be doing a bracket video of all 16 It's Time videos.
We won't.
And ranking which one is our favorite.
We really won't. And I don't care. And this one is very cute and she looks great and she makes fun of how people said that she gets defrosted every year, whatever. And I'm happy that she's happy and people are excited about it. But like, guys, how about the next time she puts out new fucking music?
For you, it's the music that matters.
It's the music that
matters.
And the next time she puts it out, pay attention. Don't just click on her socials when she's putting out an It's Time video. But to that point, Mariah, the next time you have a thing to promote it right at the top of the fucking year. To promote it right after we've had a whole 2 months of you promoting Christmas shit, and then be like, hey, I have a new non-Christmas song.
Yeah, I mean, it's January, Mariah. Let's drop a new single. Let's have a new era.
I would love that. And in the same breath, I also have to say, we joke a lot about my feuding with Brenda Lee of Rocking Around the Christmas Tree fame.
Just because it's always number 2.
It's always number 2.
To All I Want for Christmas Is You. And so you're somehow threatened by that. Something has to be number 2.
It's always something has to be number 2. But I feel like her playlisting is sometimes unfairly better than Mariah's. But this is not about that. What I will say is my feud is a joke, mostly. But This year, Brenda has done two things.
Mm-hmm.
She's released an official music video decades after the song has been released, which Mariah did in 2019.
Mm-hmm.
She then released her own It's Time video where she's like doing something on Halloween and then transitions to November 1st. And she's like, darling, it's time. It's that time or something. And I'm like, okay. And then her, like, I assume gay great nephew has hashtagged this, Brenda season. And it's like, this is all Mariah shit. And I get it. Mariah's an inspiration to people young and old. But let's all call a spade and say that as much as we love all people of all ages, she's kind of ripping from Mariah's playbook these days, right?
Listen, you can't get mad at her for playing that game right.
I can't, but I'm just saying it's noticed and we lambs are seeing it. That's all I'm going to say.
Listen, how about next year we have a nice collab between Mariah and Brenda Lee, and they do a nice little mashup of both songs, and that way everyone can be happy. We can all live in peace and harmony.
But I also don't like that song. I've never liked Rockin' Around
maybe
the
new
Christmas
version,
Tree.
maybe when Brenda Lee gives new vocals, the little remix, put a rapper on it. It'll be a whole new song.
Maybe. I can't wait for the So Def mix of Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree.
It would be a slapper.
It would be really something. So I'm just, there's not, we love everyone.
Yes.
But my eyes are open. That's what I'll say.
I think this feud is very weird. As someone who does not give a shit about Christmas music.
Which, by the way, if you want to see Matt Steele not give a shit about Christmas music live, make sure to join the Patreon before December when we have a holiday celebration where we're listening to only Christmas music, watching Christmas music content, because Matt Steele will...
We're going to be watching?
Yes, we are.
All right, girl. I'll be seated. I will show up on time with a boba in hand.
Hello? And don't you want to see a fucking Grinch on Christmas watching Mariah and be like, that was nice?
I'll be like, that was nice. I love how like your idea of a Grinch is being like, that was nice.
Well, because we all know it's a lie. We all know you won't care deep down.
I will be happy that other people are happy and feeling festive.
That's good.
Yeah.
All right. Euphoria season 3 is confirmed to be coming in 2025 by HBO.
Hot.
I believe The White Lotus is also coming back in 2025, which, by the way, I don't think we've finished that SAG strike. So I assume we're all assuming it'll be over soon.
Yeah, we'll see what email I get at about 9 p.m.
Okay.
That's usually when I get the emails from Fran.
Do you get them daily?
I have been getting them daily,
okay.
like for the past maybe like week.
Got it.
Because it seems like we're moving things along.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, so,
that's good news.
Yeah.
Well, if you haven't, make sure to put in the Discord if things go well or don't go well tonight.
Okay.
All right.
Well, I'm an actor, so like even after the strike's over, still not going to go well for me.
Good. You'll go on auditions again.
Yeah.
Get all the roles.
Will I go on those auditions?
Oh, speaking of,
yeah.
I'm sorry. I know I keep talking about Will and Grace in this podcast, but I've been doing my rewatch and also listening to their rewatch podcast, Just Jack and Will. And something else that Jack McFarland has in common with you, they made sure that he never drank. Jack doesn't drink on that show.
Oh.
Yes, which I never noticed. It's like you'll see drinks by him, but it's all just like fizzy-ish drinks that he likes. Like he doesn't drink. We wanted to maintain his innocence.
It's like said on the show that he doesn't
I
drink.
don't know.
Or it's just like they like made a point to have him not drink in the show just to give him that sort of innocence.
They made a point to have him not drink.
Oh my God,
during
guys.
the show.
For the fucking Will and Grace reboot.
Hello.
I am right here.
Yes.
I am right here.
You are right here.
I am right here. That audition is filmed, bitch, and it's called Two Gay Mats.
And you do great. You would do great with it. And also, I did get to the episode where they mentioned how Megan Mullally went to Sean Hayes' show with Susan Sarandon. And they also said, which didn't get any headlines or pickup, but they said like, oh, she'll definitely come on to this podcast at some point. And then Eric McCormack was like, yeah, she's kind of taking a step away from the craziness right now, but I'm sure she'll get on at some point.
Iconic.
Oh my God. I can just feel it. I can feel the feud.
Iconic, guys. Iconic.
Okay. I'm trying to think. Oh, also BravoCon was this weekend. And the thing that I want to talk about, I actually don't remember if I was going to do this in 2 gay minutes or not, but I'll just say it here because it's a news story and we don't have a lot of news stories. Ramona, there was a Variety article, I want to say, that came out that was like, going to be a huge takedown of the Housewives. And like Bethany was behind it and Raquel Leviss was going to be mentioned and Ebony K. Williams, the first black housewife on Housewives of New York, was mentioned. It came out and was kind of, in my opinion, a bit of a nothing burger. It was a bit of a letdown. It was like things we kind of already knew, but the only thing that was shocking, even though we kind of knew it, but it was confirmed by members of the crew that worked on that final season of New York before they made the entire change. There was some conversation with Ebony and Ramona in which Ebony leaves. They have like a discussion about politics and like why voting for Trump is bad, whatever. And she leaves, and Ramona starts talking about how, people were racist against me because I was a Catholic or I was Italian or whatever it was. And she said some word that was somewhat offensive, and then the black producer was like, "I don't know what that word means. Like, what does that mean in reference to you?" And Ramona says, "Oh, it would be like someone calling you the N-word."
And she said the N-word.
The producer says she says the N-word. Ramona, when she saw the Page Six article, texted Page Six about this, and she's like, "By the way, I said N-word," and like spells out N-word, not. And then proceeds to begin to spell the word. And it's like, Ramona, you dumb fucking idiot. Like, why do you think this is better or appropriate? Like, please be quiet. And then that article came out maybe Wednesday, Thursday. She is cut from the BravoCon lineup immediately thereafter.
Sure.
Because like, what else are you supposed to do? And you've already filmed an entire season of the Housewives Legacy show with her. And I mean, it's a girl strip. It won't be that long. But it's still like, this is why you should, like, you made the decision at a point to not have Ramona on anymore. There was an announcement and everything. And then after the talks for an entire season of Roni Legacy fell through, and they decided not to hire Jill, my queen, Jill Zarin, for this upcoming girls trip, they brought Ramona back on thinking, well, the dust is settled. What bad thing could happen now? It's the bad thing. Ramona's a fucking racist. Stop hiring her. Like, period. Andy, all involved. Like, if this isn't the example, she's going to do something else. Bring Jill Zarin back. I realize she may have ruined the talks last time by requesting for the same amount of money as everyone else did. But, like, just pay her what she's worth. Get Jill on. No more Ramona on my screen. I don't need someone who's actively racist. That's not entertaining to me.
Listen, I hate to break it to you, but Ramona is coming back somewhere, somehow. That is a woman with 9,000 lives.
She can come back. She has a podcast with her daughter, Avery, and they can come back right there. That's it. That's the deal.
Yeah.
Is there any other news for idiots you'd like to share with the
people? I don't think so, guys.
All right. Well, we're going to take a quick break, and then we'll be back with more 2K Mats, the podcast. Yes. Leave her alone. Palmer is a wolf in lamb clothing. Justice for Brenda. Rocking around the Christmas tree to get number one. Look, I was not mean in that segment. No. I just was saying it's something to notice.
I mean, well, you sounded crazy. But I wouldn't say you were mean. You sounded like...
I don't think I sounded crazy.
No, not at all.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Grace is happy to have regular Will and Grace updates. It's great. I just watched the episode where Matt Damon guested. I forgot how they had such big guest stars.
I do have a question. Like, are Eric McCormick and Sean Hayes allowed to talk about Will and Grace?
I think actually this was I'm behind, so this was filmed and put out before the strike started. Okay, I think the strike went on hiatus. Yeah, but it might be back now. Maybe they are allowed to talk about it because the writer's strike is over.
But they're actors. Like,
I know, but I mean, I'm looking at the thing. I think it's been updated recently.
I mean, I'm not out to get them.
It seems like you are.
I'm not. Fran, go easy on him.
Sean Hayes trying to take his job.
Go easy on him, Fran. They know not what they do.
Jack and Will. It definitely went on a hiatus.
Okay.
But the newest episodes are Thursday. So I guess the answer is yes.
Maybe they know that the SAG strike is ending, so they're like, yeah, put the next episode out Thursday.
Just watch the Brenda Lee video. There's a lot of unnecessary energy lamps are giving. We're just noticing. We have our eyes peeled.
Let the woman have a good time.
She can have a good time. And we'll just notice the good time.
We'll keep an eye out on the good time.
We'll keep an eye out. Oh, hi, Luke. Thank you for making it to a live stream. Beyonce was so adorable on Punk'd.
I saw the actors from Hunger Games did a promo in Times Square, and I'm confused.
They have an interim agreement. Why do I know that?
They do. That's right. Love that I listened to Brenda diatribe and said that's completely normal.
Thank you, Maxwell. I'm so glad to have someone in my corner because everyone here next to me and on the Discord thinks I'm insane. And I didn't say a mean word. I just said I noticed and my eyes were peeled.
No, but now people are saying mean words about you. Well, because they're like, oh,
that's up to them. Well, that's up to them. That's up to them. And
it's always up to you if you use mean words.
Yes, if you have to look at yourself in the mirror.
You have to look at yourself.
Bed with yourself.
You hear that, Kathy?
You hear that? Leave me alone.
Leave him alone.
Brenda watch. That's the thing. Just got my eyes peeled.
I mean, you got to do what you got to do.
Really
you got to look out for your girl. You got to look out for the people who raised you. You got to look out for your mothers.
There's also a rumor that Mariah has filmed a video for Christmas Baby Please Come Home this year. So maybe that would be her 20th number one. That'd be cool. We love a man with passion. Thank you, Lindsay. I have nothing if not passion.
A lot of passion.
Yes.
By Stephen Sondheim.
Is that
it's a musical.
Musical? Oh,
1994.
Cool. Love that. If it helps, we only think you're insane because you are. Thanks, Austin.
When someone shows you who they are, believe them.
Yes, and I've shown you that I am level-headed.
Yes. Palmer, I might start Will and Grace after this. I never got into it, but you're making me curious.
It's great. It's like there are problematic moments, and you're going to hear the word FAG said a few times where you're like, woo, network TV said that, and that was weird. And also, like, there's a little bit of fat phobia. And a little bit of racism towards Rosario before she appears as a character. Because there's still racism towards her, but it's like she talks back, so it feels like she has more agency.
Sure.
So there's some stuff that didn't age great, sure.
But I mean, and the whole point of Karen is she's very problematic.
Oh, yeah. That's true. No one's like looking at Karen as like, oh, she's who I want to be when
very
I grow
much
up.
the very, very rich.
You got a match.
I got a match on Tinder.
Yay!
She's very much sort of like the rich, like vodka drinking, airheady, pill popping Archie Bunker.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Totally.
Both Matts are insane. What did I do today that was insane?
Both Matts are insane. That's part
I'm actually going to start being insane with the 2 game minutes that I have today.
We know. I think we know. Will and Grace, The Nanny, and Golden Girls is my holy trinity of underrated sitcoms. I don't know.
Underrated?
I know.
Who underrates Will and Grace and the Golden Girls?
I know.
Which
Those
is
are like classics.
I would say the Golden Girls is like the sitcom of all sitcoms that like everyone can agree has held up like the most.
Is that the one I should watch after I'm done with Will and Grace?
Oh my God.
Okay.
The fact that you've never seen Golden Girls is insane. The Nanny is, I think The Nanny is getting its due now, but The Nanny for a while was underrated.
Happy Endings is underrated.
Steele, what season of Survivor are you on? I'm rewatching 12 because I don't want Sri to stop being on my TV. I have to start 22. I took a hiatus once Big Brother started, and so I'm about to start 22 now, which is Redemption Island, which I hear is the worst season.
Yay!
So if I can get through that, then I can get through any of them.
Absolutely. I love that we've come to a consensus that we're all insane. It happens. I love how Karen refers to people by their jobs, driver, pharmacist, etc. Problematic fave. I mean, she's very funny. Megan Mullally is like a genius.
Like a brilliant, brilliant.
Well, and all 4 of them. Like
they're all incredible. They're all incredible.
Because you forget how good Deborah Messing is on that fucking show.
Phenomenal. A phenomenal performance. All of them. All of them. Everyone.
My generation does. I'm surrounded by the Friends, How I Met Your Mother, The Office fanboys.
Oh.
I mean, Friends is great, and, you know, R.I.P. Matthew. But maybe it's a Brazil thing, though. Okay. Yeah, I think maybe they're not like at the top of everyone's tongues, the ones you mentioned, but I wouldn't call them underrated in America, at least.
Yeah.
You'll see Tiffany letting Amara.
Yes.
Absolutely. And it's like, woo! Listen to all those words I can't say.
Oh my God. New York, the fact that Tiffany Pollard and Omarosa are on like a same season of something is fantastic. And the fact that it's just like, no. Like New York will show you who is the true number one villain of reality TV. I will eat you the fuck up, Omarosa.
And I hate, that, I mean, I don't know if this is a spoil. For House of Villains. Oh. This might be a spoil for House of Villains. I'm going to say it. So if you don't want me to spoil, then mute your live recording. I hate that New York's out.
Yeah.
It's like so early on in the season. Like why, if you're going to use producer trickery on your reality shows, keep her till the fucking end.
Rig it for New York.
Rig it for her.
Rig it all for New York.
Truly.
Friends is great, but I don't care for The Office or How I Met Your Mother.
I like The Office, but have never wanted to rewatch
I feel like The Office and How I Met Your Mother people who are probably like 8 years younger than us.
Yes.
I would say around that age. Like a lot of my coworkers talk about like old episodes of The Office and How I Met Your Mother and everything.
Right. Okay, I guess everyone's saying they can't believe I haven't watched The Golden Girls, so I guess I will be watching it. It's perfect. It's so unbelievably written. I'm excited.
Like, and the performances are so phenomenal. Especially like once you get, because you know, season 1 of like all like sitcoms, it's always like, okay, they're like finding their footing, but like it's still really great. Yes. But then when you get to like season 2, like it's
how many seasons is it?
7.
Oh, right.
I want to say Golden Girls is like 7 seasons.
That's a good run.
I could be wrong. Yeah. Saw Sean Hayes a few years ago in his one-man show, An Act of God in San Francisco. It was amazing. Definitely a highlight of Will and Grace. I mean, he's great.
Absolutely.
Exactly. This was hers to win. The more you stir the pot should give you a better chance of winning since it's House of Villains. Would it be a crime that I haven't watched The Office? No. I've watched like 2 episodes.
And that's a show that also gets better after its first season. I mean, but the first season is so uncomfortable at moments that I'm like, I could see how some people couldn't even get through it.
Christian's like, I grew up with Nick at Night, so I watched a lot of those shows. And like the fact that those shows were on Nick at Night for you, Christian, is like blowing my mind.
I know.
Because Nick at Night for us was like I Love Lucy, Mary Tyler Moore, The Jeffersons, like shows from like the 50s, 60s. And then when it started being the 70s, I was like, oh, these are new shows.
I know, right?
Everything. And then then I wasn't even watching anymore when 80s shows started creeping up in, and I was like, 80s.
That's the thing. I felt like I turned away from Nick at Night for like me. It felt like just a decade to me, and I turned back and Friends was on it.
I know.
And I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
So that was a shock.
Yeah. The early Roseanne was so. I mean, Roseanne's a fucking brilliant sitcom. Leslie, I saw that in LA. It was amazing. There's a Be Kind Rewind video about movie star cameos and sitcoms that made me really fall in love with The Nanny and how much it inspired by I Love Lucy. I mean, I Love Lucy is just like the blueprint of sitcoms.
Right.
Roseanne was great, but she's been losing her mind in recent years. Well, we wish her the best.
Oh,
when Tiffany said to Johnny Bananas, "Don't raise your penis at me," I spit out my drink.
I have not watched that.
Matt Palmer definitely watched The Golden Girls. You will laugh your ass off. Listen to my mother.
I'm excited. I want to laugh my ass off. I trust it.
Sometimes I just want a John Goodman hug. Oh, he's so brilliant in Roseanne. He is so brilliant in Roseanne. My God. I love a 60s show too. Bewitched was my jam. You loved I Dream of Jeannie.
I loved I Dream of Jeannie. I liked Bewitched, but man, I Dream of Jeannie was it for me. I loved that.
She had that nice little bottle.
Yeah.
The nice couch that she just like lounged in.
I know. I was like, it looks really comfortable in there.
Yeah. Does Nick at Night still exist?
It does. It does. And Friends is still on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just to make sure I don't mean The Office was on Nick at Night. I watched George Lopez, Friends, The Nanny, The Nerdy Person. I can't remember the Nerdy Person.
Is that
Family Matters?
Family Matters, yeah.
Steve Urkel. I mean, that's a classic.
Of course.
I remember not knowing that the show was called Family Matters until like middle school because my family would just call it Steve Urkel.
Of course. What else would you call it?
The show is called Steve Urkel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a great one though.
Yeah.
All right, you ready?
Yeah, sure. Okay. All right, guys, we're having a lot of fun in the live chat talking about like what shows were on Nick at Night for our generation.
Yes.
And other people's generations.
Yes.
But you know what? We have something that everyone should watch.
Yes.
And it is what, Matt Palmer? What stuff on our Patreon?
You should go to our Patreon at patreon.com/2gaymats and watch everything, all the bonus content. You could join the Discord, meet a bunch of friends you just haven't met yet. And we're going to have, like I mentioned earlier, I think while we're recording, that we're going to have a holiday live stream at some point in December. So if you want to be around for that, go to patreon.com/2gaymats. And for as little as $5 a month, you can become a part of a great community that's going to welcome you with open arms.
Yes, and tomorrow I'm uploading our reaction to Olivia Rodrigo's new song for the Hunger Games movie.
Yes.
That'll be uploaded onto our Patreon. So join our Patreon to get a load of that.
Do that. And if you are liking listening to this or watching this at the moment, please go to your Apple Podcast or Spotify and leave us a 5-star review on either platform. That really helps with the algorithm. We want to get this podcast out to as many people as possible, and you could do so much to help us out. And we love you. If you've done it or are thinking about doing it, just pull the trigger. 5 stars only. Reminder.
5 stars only. That 5-star trigger.
Yes.
Yes.
Matt Steele.
Yes.
What part of the podcast are we in?
We are on Email My Heart, and that is the section of the podcast where we answer any questions that you guys might have. You can be a part of Email My Heart if you email us at 2gaymats@gmail.com. 2 is spelled TWO. And so we got an email this week from Lily. It's another question about exes. Lily says, exes, question mark. Hi, Matt. I already know what Matt Palmer's going to say. Exes to him are basically non-conversation starters / just no.
Yes.
But I have been thinking about my ex recently and really think that I want to give it another shot. We haven't talked in a year or so, and as far as I know, he is single. How would you go about approaching this topic after having not talked for a year? We broke up because I didn't love myself enough and wasn't a whole person without him. I did the work, I went to therapy, and I think I can say I wouldn't be the same I wouldn't be the same person I was at the time, and that we could make it work. Whether we get back together or not, I think I would regret not at least telling him how I felt. And if he isn't interested in getting back together, could you give me a little pep talk explaining what I should do to move on / process this final ending? At that point, I'm not even sure we could be friends because it would be too awkward. But if I am being honest, I would like him in my life, whether that be romantic or not. Help! It's brutal out here. Lily.
I love that.
Yes, I love that. And I love that you are like aware enough to know like this might not work. This might not happen.
Right.
So, listen, I am first of all, because you said that you are the one who broke things off with him, I think that does give you a little bit of leverage. A little bit. He might still have like, I don't know if he was angry when you broke things off with him. He might still have a little bit of like anger if it did end angry on his part.
Right.
You know what? I wouldn't go in initially to be like, hey, I still have feelings for you. I would go in being like, hey, can we meet up and chat so we can catch up? Because then like, who knows, maybe you'll like meet up, have dinner, have a talk and everything. And in this chat, you can say that like you've worked on yourself, but like you might even realize like, you know what, it's okay that we're not together anymore. You might like realize like, you know what, he's, moved on, and you might realize then that maybe you have as well. So your first initial meetup or asking to meet up, I would not initiate a romantic thing. If you do decide like, I do want to still tell him that I have feelings for him, I am very much of the mindset, life is short. If you have feelings for someone, tell them. As long as you know he might not have those feelings for you back.
And I would like to actually jump in and say that I agree. I think you should say what you want to say and be honest with him and open and put the ball in his court. My point of view would be more if I were his friend and he was like, what should I do? I'd be like, don't get back together. But if we're talking to you, yes, you should tell
because we know Lily's an icon.
Of course, Lily's an icon.
Yes.
And from your point of view, absolutely, you should be honest and say what you want to say. It's not, but you have to really prepare yourself for either answer.
Yeah.
Like you can't go in being like, okay, if he says no, then I'm going to turn into a ball and like this will extend my morning and all of this. Like you just have to, the goal is to say it. It can't be the goal that you're going to get the response you want. Like I think you have to just go, you say what you want to say. Again, I agree, not in first meeting. The first meeting should just be about you catching up. And when it feels like the right time to bring up your feelings, then tell him. But it can't be about what he says back. It can't be about whether you guys get back together. The goal needs to be, I've said this thing, and then whatever he gives back to you, you've got to make peace with it because, you broke this guy's heart, it sounds like, even if it was for a good reason to go work on yourself. And so he is allowed to say and feel however he'd like to feel about that. Mm-hmm. And you have to respect his decision. Putting the ball in his court, I realize is scary, but if you don't attach yourself to his response, I think it'll be easier. And just, I think being honest and open and vulnerable with your feelings should be the goal. And I think that's very feasible.
Because just like being honest and vulnerable and open with your feelings like makes you feel good as well.
Yeah.
Like when you say, even if you don't get the response that you necessarily want, you're like, at least I was able to express this. And like, at least he knows that like I have worked on myself. And so even if he doesn't want to get back together with me, like at least he can be happy for me.
Exactly.
And he can think of me fondly. And, maybe like somewhere down the road, like develop like a friendship in the future if like he decides he wants to do that.
And if that's not painful at all for you.
Sure. Yes. If that's not painful at all for you. In terms of like, if it doesn't go like how you want it to go moving on, I think maybe you can get some solace in knowing that that you had this open moment, that you had this honest moment, that you got to express your feelings. So that always makes you feel good. And also like that, even if he doesn't want to get back together with you, I'm positive he will still feel like, you know what? I appreciate her telling me that. Mm-hmm. I appreciate, like, it makes me, because, whenever someone tells you that they like you, like, you're just like, oh, that makes me feel good. And
sure.
Like, I think you can get some solace in knowing that, like, maybe you made him feel good and knowing that, like, you still think about him.
Right. And maybe
in those fond ways.
And maybe like now that you will have said the last thing, like you will have left no stone unturned. And maybe it'll be easier to be like, okay, I know the answer. I know how to move on from this. It'll be less of a nebulous, like, who knows what the feelings are. Like, if I did this, what would happen? You would have all the answers to that. So you could just close the book on it or start that relationship back up again.
You know, I'm all about a closure moment because I am just like, I cannot end any relationship, whether it be friendship or romantic, ever with me having negative feelings towards you. Like, Matt Palmer again. I am just like, we need to be on good terms. I want to be happy when I think about you and not be furious.
That's good.
And I can say for almost every person in my life, I have those feelings. Even if like we had, you know, even if like things like didn't necessarily end well between me and someone, no, I'm talking about like friends in general, not like romantic things or anything. I still like found time in the future to like, you know, be on good terms, like, you know, talk to them, talk things through, get an understanding of each other and end up on good terms with them. And so we're cool. I like just being cool with everybody.
That's what Gwen Stefani says.
So what Gwen Stefani says, and she is the prophet of our time.
She really is.
Yes. And so we also got another email, my heart question.
We actually have an email here if you want to do it.
Oh, we do? Okay.
It,
so we'll
in the middle of the show.
We'll do a couple.
All right. So this is from Derek. Can we return to Cinder, please? Hey guys, about 6 months ago, I got promoted and moved across the country. It was a brand new city and I didn't want to be alone. A good girlfriend of mine just got out of an abusive marriage and needed a change. So I said, you know what? Come with. Big mistake. I literally cannot do this. Her 2 chihuahuas are constantly barking. There's hair everywhere. She's messy and doesn't pick up after herself. I can go on and on and on. Guys, she gotta go. I love her to death, but if we continue living together, I'm not going to like her anymore. This isn't the same as her visiting every now and then when I lived alone. My last straw was yesterday when she left a used tampon in the bathroom counter. I know I asked her to come with me and literally brought her across the US, but would I be wrong saying that we need to part ways? No,
I would start with, hey, girl, don't leave a used tampon. I would start by being like, hey, can you like clean up after yourself? Can you do this? Can you do this? Can you do this?
To me, it seems like I'm trusting our narrator. The door is closed. Like, I feel like we've moved past the point of like, maybe there are some conversations about change behavior that could change this. And it's like, I literally am beginning to dislike you now. Sure. And I think the conversation, the tough one is going to be like, hey, I'm so glad we moved across the country together, but I don't think living together is the best choice for our friendship.
But will it hurt the friendship even more to just flat out immediately be like, you need to go? Or like, because if I was her, I would be like, well, why didn't you tell me you were having these problems? Like, why didn't you tell me you were having these issues?
Sure, but it's like, if you want to be the one to say, I will look for a new apartment, that'll be easier for her so she doesn't have to move out. She can find a new roommate. Sure, but it seems, I mean, again, just saying what Derek's saying is true, I think the door's closed. Like, maybe he could have in the past have said that before it got to like resentment level. But now it's like, if we're going to salvage this friendship, this living situation cannot be what it is.
That's the thing is though, like, I feel like the friendship is more easily unsalvageable. Does that make sense? It's more easily unsalvageable.
I'm with you.
If you just immediately are just like, you need to go. So if you are worried about the friendship being salvageable, I would maybe give like a chance and be like, hey, this is something, can you do this? You know?
I think there's a kind way to ask someone to no longer live with you. I mean,
of course there is, but I'm just wondering how she would react.
It's going to be a tough conversation either way. So whichever path you choose, I think it's not going to be easy. But I think you're doing the right thing to hopefully salvage the friendship, but also to salvage your sanity. Like, you have to be like, my living situation like is having such a toll on, like, my negative living situation is having such a bad effect on my mental health that like this needs to change in one way or another, even if feelings get hurt, because hard conversations, there are going to be feelings that get hurt. So whichever conversation you would like to have and feels better to you, I say just do it as quickly as possible, because I would not continue suffering in that like living situation and like growing more and more resentful. Like, I think that's only going to lead down a dark road.
Sure, but I do think the extreme of just being like, you need to leave right now, even especially after like, I told you to move across the country with me. Like, I feel like that would be a very, very, very sudden and hard thing for her to hear. And like I could see her really resenting that.
But if he doesn't, he's going to wake up and really hate her and say it in a much less kind way.
Sure. But that's why I think that there is like a nice middle ground where it's like establishing like, hey, if you want to keep living here, like you need to do this. You know?
You can do that if you'd like. I wouldn't do that. You can do whatever you would like. I think from the sounds, the way that you spoke about it, it feels like over to me, the living situation. You can say it in the kindest way in the world, but at the end of the day, you've got to protect yourself first, even if it hurts her feelings, even if the friendship has to end, if it's going to mean weeks and weeks of you being more and more angry and upset and uncomfortable in your own home, it's not worth it.
Yeah. I only say it's just because he is concerned about the friendship lasting.
Sure.
You know?
Concern is kind.
We love concern.
We love concern. Yes.
So we got another email my heart question in the live chat from Isaac. Very simple question. What do you think is such a great era of music, like year-wise for you? Isaac referenced the bubblegum pop that was big in like 2008 to 2012, which like, I mean, that has to be my answer. Especially, I think I would say like 2012 to 2013, especially for me, kind of like creeping into 2014. By mid 2014, I was like, we're going downhill. But like I would say like 2013 especially was such a huge moment for me. And I think that's because I had moved to LA. I was living with Matt Palmer, and in living with Matt Palmer, you really begin to understand how music works. And I was like learning so much through him. I was learning what the fuck Billboard was. And like, I was actually like following Billboard because Matt Palmer was interested in it. And I was actually following like what musicians were doing. So I just had more of like an idea of what was happening. And so I think that's also because the music was excellent around that time. But I think that's why I look at those years specifically fondly, because I was having my eyes open to so much.
Right.
And also, I mean, fucking 1997 to like 2000 were just years.
Golden
like those
era.
were years of music.
Yeah, for me, I would say 1995 to 1998 are like the golden years for me. It was when I was first getting into music and fell in love with Michael Jackson and Janet Jackson's Scream and went back and bought all their discographies, obviously Mariah's Daydream. And like that first 95 year feels like me just discovering what I like. And then 96 and 97 and 98 is just like the music that was popular and mainstream felt like it was becoming more and more sophisticated as the years and months went on, and more cerebral as I was getting older. I was able to understand like the vocal arrangements that were becoming more complex and the lyrical choices that were becoming more interesting. For me, it's going to be tough to beat that era in my life. I do think 2007 through 2010, 2011, 2012, 2013 is a good year, is also up there for me. And I'm excited for the next era like that, the next stretch of time like that. I feel like we have bursts and fits and starts of good things. And then it
just never continues. Because guys, like once 2015 started, like we were like, what? Oh, why does it feel like nothing's happening? And then we got to a point where we were in the trenches. Like 2019 era, 2017, 2018. Woof. It was fucking tough. Woof. It was rough. I also want to add, like, I think 1997 to like 2000 to me were very influential in terms of like music, because also that was like the advent of the internet. And so that was also a time where I was becoming aware of like what was happening.
Totally.
More so music wise.
I believe that.
You know?
Yes.
So there are reasons for my choices.
Reasons for the season.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
So now we are on to 2 gay minutes.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the section of the podcast where we each ramble about something that the other Matt doesn't give a shit about for 2 minutes.
Yes.
2 minutes only. Do you have one?
I do. I have a couple.
You have a couple?
A couple mini ones, yes.
A couple mini ones. Do you want to go first or you want me to go first?
I can go first if you'd like me to.
Okay, why not? Let me pull out my my counter.
Yeah, get that timer out.
Let's get the timer out. Let's get the stopwatch out.
Yes.
Matt Palmer, are you ready for your 2 gay minutes?
I am ready to go.
All right, ready, set, go.
Okay, so I want to talk about BravoCon and just a couple of things that I feel about it. I feel like there are pros and cons. Obviously, I love seeing all the previews. I love that we got the Roni Legacy preview. We got a preview of Beverly Hills, a new dinner party from hell that's coming up in a few weeks. And, a lot of interactions on stage are very cool and interesting, and getting Andy's answers to like, what do you think of Bethany's reality reckoning? He doesn't really answer, but just seeing him faced with these questions from people who really love Bravo is interesting. The issue I have with BravoCon is sometimes you are putting people, like entire casts on stage together before the reunion. Like Summer House has filmed their entire season. It ends with a very bombshell breakup with Carl and Lindsay, who were engaged, going to be married, I believe, this year. And instead of the first time they're going to see each other being on that reunion stage and that tension having built up over months and months and months and months, they're sitting on a BravoCon stage.
Okay.
And getting these initial questions from people that aren't Andy. And it's like, okay, this kind of lets the air out of the drama a little bit in a way that I don't think is appropriate, or not like inappropriate, but just like it's going to make the reunion worse, in my humble opinion. This also seemed to happen, but it seemed to happen with Vanderpump Rules a little bit. You know, obviously Ariana and Tom Sandoval were on stage together. Tom Sandoval got a lot of boos, which I did like. But now there's this whole thing about like, well, Sheena went to Tom Sandoval's suite during BravoCon, and Ariana finds that to be a betrayal. And I'm like, okay, it's kind of interesting, but also is it not like a little bit of fourth wall breaking for drama on this show that's actually not even filming right now to be bursting out because of BravoCon and like who hangs out with whom in what suites? Like, I think I get it. It's fan service and people want to interact with their favorite Bravo celebrities, but sometimes there's a set schedule for a reason, and I don't want us to be letting the air out of the tires of some of the more tense things that we could be watching on the reunions.
I agree with that. Your 2 minutes are up right now. Okay. I agree. I very much relate to that in terms of like Big Brother, because it's like letting the air out of the tires and like having something like spoiled like in an interview before getting to like the real good interview. It's the same thing as like when people tell someone on Big Brother, hey, you're being evicted tonight.
Exactly.
It's like, come on. Like we almost had a blind side. Like
that's the fun of it.
That's the fun of it. That's what you're on the show to do.
Exactly. And what am I going to be? I mean, I assume the reunion will still be good when we get to the Summer House reunion, but it's now just going to be a little less interesting because we already know how they interact these days. Okay, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready, guys. It's about Big Brother. It's miserable.
Shock.
Yeah, miserable 2 gay minutes.
3, 2, 1.
After an entire week of Jag, Matt, and fucking Bowie Jane essentially isolating Cirie and Felicia, Cirie was voted out, and even though Matt and Cirie were allies all season long, Matt didn't seem to care much. When the HOH competition started, we saw it was yet another competition of look at this picture and remember everything that's on it. Why have we had 0 competitions other than OTEV that actually have anything to do with the things that actually happened in the house? Why are we in the top 4 and we haven't had a before and after competition yet? Whatever. Fucking Bowie Jane wins HOH because it came down to a tiebreaker where you had to guess a certain amount of seconds, and the queen of the whiteboard, Bowie Jane, won again. It's honestly impressive that all 3 of her HOH wins were won from a tie-breaking whiteboard question. Her winning HOH means that she makes it to finale night and that she will break Derek Levasseur record for most number of days spent in the house without being nominated.
Wow.
100 days. And even though we're disappointed in her, it's a slay. She puts up Felicia and Matt, preventing Matt from tying her record, as this is his first time nominated too. Jag wins the power of veto, which means he has the power to evict as he is the sole vote. The obvious move that he knows is the obvious move is to get rid of Matt. Matt can very well beat him in a jury vote because he was well aligned and got 0 blood on his hands. Jag spends the entire weekend trying to muster up the courage within himself to evict Matt. He cries. He confides in Bowie Jane, and I was about to write an actually happy 2 gay Matt's minutes when I was celebrating, because I was celebrating the fact that Jag is making a bold move and cutting his best friend Matt. I was ready to stand Jag so hard and was imagining amazing scenarios of what tonight's live eviction could look like. But I was about to write this 2 gay minutes until about 3 fucking hours ago when Jag came out of the diary room with a sudden change of heart. Now he wants to keep Matt because according to him, it's the right thing to do, and him and Bowie Jane are just going to have to win the old-fashioned way. Girl, the old-fashioned way of winning Big Brother was to cut everyone's throats. Whatever. Further proof that Big Brother fans can't have anything nice because everyone is too afraid to do anything. This 2 gay minutes is dedicated to Felicia, who, regardless of what anyone says, has been the most entertaining person, if not just of this season, but of the past several seasons.
Wow.
The last 96 days watching her laugh and fall and fart and not give a fuck about what any of these dumb kids think about has been truly a joy. Seeing her relationship with her and Cirie grow and thrive and fall apart and mend has been beautiful, and she will be receiving all of my America's Favorite Player votes.
That's great.
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. I know, because you were literally like posting in the competitive reality TV channel on the Discord, like, things are really going to be interesting. I can't believe if he does this is going to be so iconic.
It would have been iconic. And the thing is, like, Jag's gameplay has been so like messy and like not good strategy all season, but he's only getting so far because like he's winning so many competitions. And this would have been such an amazing strategic move. It would have been so good. It would have been bloodthirsty. It would have been television. And then he comes out of the diary room after people suspect that like the diary room was pushing him to save Matt because they love, creating certain narratives on the show. I mean, I don't want to, spread conspiracy theories, but like literally for decades, people have been like the diary room influences people. We were all devastated. We're all so mad.
I'm sorry, because you stayed on, like, I feel like weeks and weeks ago, everyone was like, oh, RIP this season of Big Brother, but you were like, it could still turn around. It could still be interesting. Something good could happen.
Yeah.
And it was about to happen for you.
It was. I mean, the interesting thing to look forward to is, like, if it's Matt and Jag in the final two, it's not crystal clear who would win. I think it would be Matt, but, like, that would kind of, like, be, like, a little bit of a nail biter. But, like, whatever. I mean, they're all nice people.
Okay, we love kind people.
They're all kind people.
Yes,
that. Yes. Matt Palmer.
Yes.
I can't say much has been giving me moments this week. I will say, to bring it back to Big Brother, something that really, really gave me a huge moment is like watching Suri and Felicia say goodbye, like on the live feeds, because this entire season the fans will scream and shout that this has been the season of Suri. I disagree. This has been the season of Felicia and Suri. Their friendship has been so entertaining to watch. They are just two, like the fact that there are two women above the age of 50 in that house together when usually they don't even have a woman over the age of 40.
Right.
Like the fact that there are two of them together, their dynamic was so fascinating and fun and funny and enjoyable to watch. Their friendship was so real because they fought and got on each other's nerves. Like when Felicia would be sitting on Suri's bed and just fart, and Suri would just be like, not on my bed. Why do you always do this? And just be yelling at her, and Felicia would be cracking up. It was like watching you and me.
I love it.
It's like watching you and me on the feeds, except if we were, a little bit older and women. And so like, just like watching them the entire season has just been so wonderful, and seeing them say goodbye to each other right before Suri was evicted, like brought a little tear to my eye. So that was very much probably my most giving me moments of this week.
Okay.
Yeah. What is your giving me moments of this week, Matt Palmer?
Guys, I feel like in general, a lot of people ask me to listen to albums, and we listen to a lot of albums for the Patreon and for, just live reacting and things. And so it's hard to fit new artists in that have not proven themselves to me. I like going back to my old favorites, but somehow, some way, I think I was scrolling through Twitter and a music video by an artist named Chappell Roan popped on my feed. It was a music video for a song called Hot to Go. And I was like, this is one of the best songs I've heard all year.
Oh, shit.
The hooks on hooks, the like joyousness, the fun that you feel like is missing from pop music is just all over this girl, especially on Hot to Go, which is one of her singles off of the album The Rise and Fall of a Midwest Princess. I could go on about Hot to Go for so long, but I love a spelling moment. She's like, it's like it almost feels a little Kesha-y mixed with like just serious pop songwriter ability, which is also Kesha. It's just so much energy and so much pep and so much joy. But even her like ballads have the introspection and like the heartache to them. Like my favorite section of the album is obviously Hot to Go, which again I've talked about how great every single hook is, which by the way, every part of that song is a hook, but going straight into My Kink is Karma after that, where it's like, people think I'm jealous, but my kink is watching you ruin your life. Like dye your hair. People think I'm jealous, but my kink is watching you crashing your car, doing all this dumb shit. Now that I'm not with you is truly what brings me so much joy. And I'm like, you know what? It's rude, it's bitchy, it's petty, it's relatable.
I love that.
It is a concept. I think she is
Make music rude again.
Hello. And I love the opening song, Phenomenon, which is essentially like a question as to like, why can men not give women orgasms anymore? It's like, why every time I'm with a girl, like girls get it. They know what they're doing. And it's so fun. It's upbeat. It kind of begins as if it's a ballad. And then in every pre-chorus, there's some variation of like her screaming in the back, excuse me, could you play the fucking beat? And then the beat comes in and it's excellent. Like she knows how to craft a pop song in a way that like almost feels like in those dark years of like 2016 to 2020 felt like out of fashion. And I feel like I always wait for like big pop sounds to come back. And it's like, if you love the most fun shit on Olivia Rodrigo's album and you also miss the irreverence and the screaminess and of Kesha, Chappell Roan is for you.
Okay.
They have people in the Discord have been squawking on about her. Las Culturistas have been going and giving their flowers to her for months and weeks. And I just took me a while to get on board. But Phenomenon, Red Wine Supernova, Casual, Hot to Go, My Kink is Karma, Coffee, like I love so many of her fucking songs, and every time I listen to this album it gets better. I cannot recommend this album more.
This album came out this year?
This album came out, yes, 2023. So I'm still within the year.
You're still within the year. You're still with it.
Absolutely.
You're still cool. You're still hanging with the cool kids.
I'm still hip.
You're still hip.
Oh, I love that. I love it. And I also heard that Brandy is putting out a Christmas album this year.
Okay.
And I'm excited about that. Think of the vocal lyrics.
I mean, you love Brandy. You love Christmas albums.
I do. I
love Brandy.
That's 1 out of 2.
And I like Christmas albums enough.
I mean, if you've heard Mariah's, both of them, and didn't have a strong feeling. I mean,
obviously, I listen to Mariah's and I'm like, oh, yeah, this is fantastic.
Right.
But like Christmas albums as a whole, I'm like, yeah, sure. I get why people like it.
I can't wait to see you during that holiday party.
It's going to be great, guys.
Oh, my gosh, guys. Thank you so much for watching or listening. Is there anything else you'd like to tell the people, Matt Steele?
That we love you all.
We do love you so much. And we'll be back next week with more 2 Gay Matts, the podcast.
Bye.
Bye.
One day I'm like horrified that I'm going to forget to like hit record on.
And it'll just,
and
and it just will not have recorded.
Yeah.
Which, okay, we would have figured it out.
Okay.
The fact that I was literally about to submit a patron request for this album, you still should. Serena and Felicia. Yes, Chapel Roan is every fucking thing. You guys are absolutely right. And it's just, I was scrolling through Twitter and Hot to Go started playing and I was like, wait. Wait.
What is this?
Unbelievable. She is so fucking talented. If Gaga and Taylor had a baby. Peter R says Palmer does have taste. Like, he's surprised. Like, let's not be so surprised about that. I have great taste. Thank you. The fact that you still should submit a patron request so Matt Steele can listen. We can all listen together.
I mean, I'll listen.
Get it out like Papa John.
That's a line.
It's a feminine nomenon.
That's amazing. That's
great.
That's amazing.
Okay, and Jaguar 2 is next. I mean, yes, I would like Michael. I would love to hear it. I'm sure I'll get around. Steele, I totally agree that Felicia and Suri dominated the season. It's annoying how much Suri trashed her in exit interviews.
I didn't watch all of her exit interviews. I saw how like. Because she was asked about Felicia, because there was a segment on the show where Felicia was like clipping her nails on Cerie's bed.
Yeah.
And Cerie's like yelling at her, like, stop clipping your fucking feet on my bed. And so like Cerie was like going off about like Felicia being like, she is so gross. But like, that's what friends do to each other. They complain. Yes. And that was like why Felicia and Cerie's friendship felt so real, because like they would complain about each other all the time.
That's what Felicia
would throw Cerie under the bus every fucking day. It was hilarious. But then they would always make up.
Yes.
Like they were great guys.
Palmer has taste. Sometimes it's true. Jeff, we saw your 3rd album bracket and it was a goddamn mess. So let's not do that. She is very good. Renee Rapp also, please. I listened to some of Renee Rapp.
I have to.
Beautiful voice.
It's good. Like, it's good.
A vocalist.
Yeah.
Yes. But she's not doing what Chapel Roan's doing.
Okay.
Like, musically. Vocally, yes. I actually was watching Renee Rapp sing some songs from the Mean Girls musical. Like, I watched her sing World Burn.
Okay.
And
that comes out in January, right?
Yes, it does. I'm excited for that.
We should be getting a trailer soon, I assume.
I would love a full trailer.
Let's get a trailer.
It's time. It's time.
Oh, let's go.
Sarah says Kaleidoscope. Is that the album name for sure? For Dua?
Is it official?
Is it official? We never know what's official.
Have we heard it from her lips?
Julie Chen Moonves teases that after Big Brother 25 ends, she will announce a big holiday surprise that's in store.
All right, let's get an all-winner season. Let's get an all-winner season.
It could happen.
Let's get some real fucking players. Actually, no. The cast this year was good. Okay. Production fucked it up.
That's great.
Like, this was a genuinely good cast that was strategic and fun. The production fucked it up.
Oh, that's not good. Oh, that's not good. One man's mess is another one's golden hour. I'm probably weeks, months late, but I just saw that House of Villains clip of where New York just trashed Omarosa, and it's hilarious. It is hilarious, but it's not that old. It's maybe a couple weeks old. A week? Who would you cast as young Britney? Sydney Sweeney? I don't know. Can she dance?
She can learn.
Yeah. The way I was sending Chapel's album to a friend right when you started talking about it. It's so good. It's so good. Jeff liking Sasha Fierce as much as he does does invalidate most of its opinions. It's true. Was that just Renee Rapp shade? She's a beautiful voice. Incredible voice.
I liked the songs. I didn't listen to the full album.
I didn't either.
I didn't dislike the
song,
but I was like, oh, I'll turn this off and listen to it later, and I didn't yet.
Yes, it doesn't inspire me to continue listening to it.
Thoughts
Jay, I feel like if we keep selling Palmer on Jaguar 2, it won't live up to the hype in his eyes. I'm sure it will.
What the fuck is Jaguar?
That's the Victoria Monet.
Oh, yes, that's it. Okay.
Renee Rapp has a great voice, but a great voice doesn't always make great songs, darling. I mean, not everybody has Mariah. Renee Rapp is a young Britney. She sings too well.
What are we calling young Britney? Like, to me, young Britney is like 10-year-old Britney.
Oh, no. I think they mean Baby One More Time.
But like you can't cast like Baby One More Time would have to be played by the person who plays 40-year-old Britney.
Right.
Like you can't have. Yeah, no. Yeah, like it would just be who's playing Britney.
There's a reason I Am Such a Fierce is her biggest selling album. Yeah, it's called Single Ladies. That's the reason.
Yeah.
I'll say it again.
And Halo.
Big hits. Big
Yeah,
hits.
great songs. Well, Halo. Yeah. Halo's a great song. Great, a great song and a great music video.
Yes.
Yes.
I'll say it again. Millie Bobby Brown for Britney. Does she dance? I guess I don't know who dances. Like I'm trying to think of because there are
what's her name in the Sia videos? Maddie, whatever.
Maddie Ziegler.
Yeah, she could dance. She could give justice to the Britney dancing.
I only think of her in that Sia wig, so I don't know what's going on.
She could do it.
All right,
young girl.
Young girl.
And by the time this movie gets made, she'll be like the right age.
Right. She'll be an adult.
So
I assume she's an adult now, or 19. She's married, isn't she?
Isn't she?
I think that girl's married.
Oh Jesus, I'm getting
I'm
old.
gonna Google it.
Oh my God.
She can pretend to sing worse. Stop. Goodbye.
I feel like Britney needs to be played by an unknown. Sure. Jojo Siwa. Millie Bobby Brown.
She says she's ready to marry some man at 19.
Yeah, Millie Bobby Brown is engaged.
Oh, she's engaged.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, but I'm not talking about Millie Bobby Brown.
Oh, who are you talking about?
I'm talking about Maddie Ziegler.
I'm sorry, potato.
They don't do anything similarly.
Yeah, we were just talking about them, and they mixed up my head. It's hard. I'm not gonna care about a girl dancing in the Sia video. I'm sorry, I'm not.
Okay.
Abby Lee Miller as the mom. Oh, it's
kind of iconic.
Britney's mom.
It's kind of iconic.
I mean,
kind of iconic casting.
It would be a mess. If it's about dancing, let's cast Tate McRae. People do say she's a great dancer. I have not watched that music video though for Greedy. I want to say her song is called. Okay. It's a big hit though. Big hit because of TikTok. Like everything else this time of year.
Should I write a song and stick it on TikTok? What do I do?
To.
I can't do that. I'm doing way too much, guys.
Yeah, what are you doing now that the movie's done?
The series.
Oh, the series. Excuse me.
Very different thing.
Right. Okay.
I'm trying to make a proof of concept. Like I'm trying to produce a proof of concept for my next movie.
Oh, great.
Yeah,
that's cool.
It is cool, isn't it? It is cool, isn't it? Steel is to twink, Bess Palmer is to white petite girls.
Truly, I'm just like. You said it, Peter R. Yeah, Grace always has a dream of combining Renee Rapp with one of those like Macy Gracie girls, so that like someone who can write and someone who could sing.
One of those Macy Gracie girls.
I always mix them up. Macy Peters, Gracie Abrams.
She's a great dancer. Was on So You Think You Can Dance.
Amazing.
But can she act?
We're asking a lot of these. I guess it's a lot.
Well, we were asking a lot of Britney, weren't we?
We really were.
We were.
And she did it all.
She did a great job in that Notebook audition.
She did?
She fucking did, guys.
I was impressed. I believed every word.
You will enjoy Victoria Minogue's album. Tate McRae just dropped a teaser for a new song, I Might Stand.
Oh, okay.
Cool.
Cool.
We love artists putting out their art.
We do. Yeah. That's what art should do.
Maisie Peters. I don't know what this is referencing, but yes, Maisie Peters. I love hearing about it.
You too. Have you listened to the deluxe edition of her album?
I haven't.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
I will. Tate is cute.
I don't know about Britney biopic though. No shade. That's funny.
I mean, you also have to think like by the time this is made, how many years is that going to be?
Right.
But I mean, would we want like a young, now I'm calling it young Britney, when it's literally just Britney. She would also have to play Britney in like her 40s as well. So like, I'm thinking like maybe like a youthful looking 27-year-old to play teenage Britney and then older Britney writer extraordinaire.
Right.
I listened to Sarah Ramirez's EP. I'm surprised it doesn't get more attention. Like Broadway act, like the Tony Award winner Sarah Ramirez from And Just Like That.
Is she the character everyone hates on It's Just Like That?
Yeah.
Okay.
An album. I'm gonna wonder now if Britney went with more acting gigs.
I know if she had like done Chicago and The Notebook, what would that have been like?
I don't know. I mean, she had a hard time coming out of that character for Crossroads. Marion Cotillard for Britney. She needs a second Oscar. I'd watch it.
That would be something.
I could see Britney being like, you know who I love? Marion Cotillard. I would love to have her play me.
Hey, she loves Reese Witherspoon.
Yeah. Get Reese on it.
Get Reese on it.
Get Reese on it. Give a dancing double. Listen, if Natalie Portman can have a dancing double for Black Swan, and people like the technology was good in 2010 to accomplish that, I think you have the technology.
I need
now.
to rewatch Black Swan. I liked it, but I haven't
watched it since the first time I saw it in theaters.
I liked it. Just let Heather Morris do it. Would she lip sync to Britney's vocals? No shade, but I don't think Heather's much of a singer. She's a Glee person.
Oh, I was about to be like, I didn't know she sang, but I was like, oh, I guess she sang on Glee.
Right.
Sarah's EP is great. I recommend listening to it. Okay.
Love.
Cool.
I would love a Britney biopic. We all would. I think something's going to I have a good feeling that something's going to happen there.
Sure.
Because just what a good money funnel for Britney that she doesn't have to lift a finger,
Yeah. Remember that Madonna biopic when it was going to happen?
It was going to happen and then was not.
And then Madonna was just like, no.
No, pass.
Britney was genuinely very good in Crossroads. She could have been a solid film career if she wanted to, and if the public reception wasn't so harsh. I still need to see Crossroads.
I know, it's so impossible to find. And hey, I like her, but not that much. By the way, did Amanda Seyfried...
How did Amanda Seyfried not get a music? Did she
I know she went for one.
Did she? Also, if Britney got out of it earlier, she would have guested again on Will and Grace as a crazy GOP girl.
That's because they're talking about how Britney was on set, and I was like, which episode was she in? I now remember she was a crazy Republican.
They had everyone on that show.
They really did.
They could get Britney fucking Spears. They had Madonna.
Also, they said something. I'm just now recapping this podcast, but it is very good, and we should also listen to it. But apparently when she was backstage talking to the makeup people or the clothes people or something, she asked, is Sean single?
I love that.
And they were like, babe.
I love that.
Sean Hayes and Britney Spears would be an incredible power couple. Hey, if you could date Taylor Swift, Sean Hayes could have dated Britney.
Oh, I love that. That's so cute.
How long are y'all on for, LOL? I mean, you're pretty right. We should probably say goodbye.
We're on until right now. Thank you so much. Bye.
But we do love you all.
We love you all.
We'll
you
be
guys
back
are
next
great.
week at this time.
Yeah.
And come join us on Patreon.
Yeah, we'll see you.
Yeah. What podcast? Just Jack and Will. It's a Will and Grace recap podcast from Sean Hayes and Eric McCormick. You'll like it.
Yeah.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.